Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba. Ba-ba-ba, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
11 pound cake. Pound cake.
11 pound cake.
Tap on this TikTok one.
Not on yet. Cake.
Golf ball test.
Pound cake.
11 pound cake.
The other drawer is soft closing. All of them. But these, no. And they barely even shut fully. Okay. Yeah. Don't give them credit yet, though.
Bum 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 bum. Why is the talk not working? Why is the talk not working, my guy? What's good, guys? What's good? What's good? What's good? Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
TikTok should be working. But it's not.
Why is it not working?
What is that?
Oh, what? Oh, what? All right. Why is it not working, bro?
Did you have open yesterday?
I don't know.
That's the wrong account. Oh, you gotta end the live first, and then you gotta. Because we didn't end it the other day. That's why.
No. I think to go live on here, you have to end this one, is what it meant.
Oh, wait, try it again.
Well, I can't try it again because I already ended it, I believe.
Mm.
Are we on or no?
Yeah, we're on.
Yeah?
Yep.
No, that was just glitched. Type some so I can see.
Activate.
Just get it. Hey, baby girl, what you doing tonight? I wanna see. Be my dancing on me. Type something.
Ah,
Type something.
they go through. Wait, this. Turn off auto activate and turn it back on. That's kind of dumb.
Hey, baby, you can be my. Well, guys. Well. We're at setting up the stream still. Sorry, guys.
It isn't.
We're at setting up the stream still. Sorry, guys. That works.
Hey, there we go.
That okay. Okay, we are good finally. Jeez. All right, let's hop into this Afro Man situation
All right, Afro Man.
and see what's going on.
Sometimes I like to scroll TikTok and see what the local court systems are doing, and they are putting up with a bunch of BS. But this court case about legendary rapper Afro Man
Yeah, he's all
is the
dripped
most
out.
insane court case I have seen in all of 2026.
Afro Man's the one that wrote like the I Got High song. All right, so if you know it, you know it.
I couldn't stop laughing.
Should have freedom of speech. I should be allowed to sing about my life. And police officers that violate my home, steal my money, should not be allowed to sue me.
Randy Walters is the son of a.
He's like the he's like a petty rapper, low key. But hey, any way to monetize, bro. He knows how to take advantage of the situation and monetize the attention. So good on him.
Hey, this song's kind of fire though.
Yeah.
Hey.
That's why I
Okay.
swiping got filthy rich.
Okay, I can see why the guy got butter and sued his ass now.
So you're claiming that is the defamation statement is that he said he had sex with your wife,
Yes,
and that's painted you in a false light.
it's caused tremendous pain in my life.
I'll get to that. We have to go through false light first. So does it paint you in a false light?
Yes, that my wife is cheating on me with Mr. Foreman.
But we all know that's not true, correct?
I don't know.
I don't know.
No, it's crazy.
This is gonna be a good one. If you're new to this and you haven't already, please.
Yeah, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Go.
Subscriptions will be the way that I pay my legal fees. Now, back into the video. Internet legend and famous hip-hop artist Afro Man, who's known for his songs like Code 45 and Because I Got High,
Hey.
has found himself going viral yet again. God, that song was a banger back in the day. In 2002, local police in Ohio executed a raid on Afro Man's house. They thought that he
This is 2002. Wait.
was a
This
part of
thing has
some
been going
sort
for
of,
24 years.
kidnapping, trafficking ring, some devious stuff. Now, what the police did when they showed up was regular police work. It's sad to say that, but they left behind a trail of nonsense.
Afro Man was never charged with a crime after the raid. Deputies seized thousands of dollars in cash that was later returned, but Afro Man says about $400 was never recovered. The raid also left damage throughout
Bro, what's another 400 bag?
his
Nah,
home.
with inflation
And
is crazy. Like 400
He
worth
says the
1,000 now.
department told him it was not responsible for paying for the repairs.
The guy started laughing and waggling his head. He goes, "We're not required to do that."
Part of the police story is that they don't know anything about any missing money, but
We
what they
never
didn't
tried to do
suspect is
that.
that Afro Man is one of those guys, which if you know Afro Man, you would probably believe and know that he was one of these guys, that had security cameras all throughout his house.
Smart. This is why you always need security cameras,
Granted,
bro.
that didn't lead anywhere when he filed some sort of complaint. It got brushed off. The great artist did what a great artist does. Afro Man decided, if I get wronged on the internet, I'm going to make a YouTube video about it. Afro Man did what he does best. He got wrong. He decided to take some of that footage and make a video about it.
W.
Afro Man used his own security footage from the raids in a music video to make money to pay for the damages sustained to his home.
That's
so smart.
genius. He took the situation, monetized it, and paid for the legal fees.
Freedom of speech, and then I used my personal life to write my music. I was going to clean my room. But then I got, will you help me repair my gate? Will you help me repair my door? I'm singing about what actually happened to me.
Now, I know many of you have probably never heard of Afro Man, but make no mistake, this is a Grammy-nominated artist. He makes actual music, and that's what I think ticked the police officers off the most. This stuff will actually kind of cut into him. Not only is it satirical, not only is it catchy, but it's good, it's impactful. And the evidence of what they did is actually...
He made a song called Will You Repair My Door? And they broke his door and his gate.
In the video. So they decided to do what anybody in distress would do. They took those milk of magnesia tears and brought them into court. That's right, they sued Afro Man for defamation. Now, I'm not gonna lie, Afro Man is an ultimate troll. He decided to make multiple songs about this. Lemon Pound Cake about an officer who...
Wait, this is AI, this is AI. This is AI.
The lemon pound cake that was sitting on his table. Will you fix my door after the officers who literally kicked his door off his hinges? Insane. And then probably, arguably the most insane one was the song about him having sex with one of the officers' wives. We've seen situations like this before from J. Cole, who had a song called Neighbors, where he put out security footage of police swatting his home. But that one wasn't satirical, and honestly, it didn't hurt the police. He didn't call anybody's name. But Afro Man is a troll. A good one at that. So naturally, this is gonna hurt these officers' feelings.
I noticed before you got the vote. She's not too ugly. She's not too fine, but she's
He found every single one and started trolling them. Bro, he's petty.
Lick him up, Lisa's crazy. Oh,
Lick
she's
him up.
actually crying in court.
Why is she LARPing? Why is she crying, bro?
No, she's getting rage baited to the
bro.
max. The cortisol level is spiking, man.
She really has to like act like this is causing her like
Trauma.
emotional trauma, bro. Oh my god, this is another Imaru situation.
Oh man.
What is this? Oh my gosh.
The LARP is crazy. He's just like chilling to the song. He's like, this is good. This is good music.
There's more content.
You're
bro.
claiming that is the defamation statements that he said he had sex with your wife.
Yes.
Okay. And that's painted you in a false light.
It's caused tremendous pain in my life.
I'll get to that. We have to go through false light first. So does it paint you in a false light?
Yes, that my wife is cheating on me with Mr. Foreman.
But we all know that's not true, correct?
I don't know.
Wait, you don't know if you like...
Okay, now he looks like a cuck for saying that, bro. Oh my god. Just say, oh my god.
Why are you saying I don't know? You're suing him for defamation, so clearly it didn't happen. What the fuck you mean you don't know?
All this for no reason, bro. He's just he just has to like go along with the play at this point.
No, he's being petty,
Now, let me be clear. I
bro.
don't have any sympathy towards any of these officers. Straight face moment. I know they feel embarrassed. I know that they feel they were in distress. I know that they don't like seeing their faces plastered over these videos, getting millions of views and people staring at them while they have to sit there and pick up the pieces. But to be quite honest with you, they kicked in this man's door in broad daylight,
Honestly, he didn't even do
embarrassing
anything,
him in front
so
of all his
they
neighbors.
went kind of
They
crazy
did
for that.
property damage.
Valid.
But honestly, whoever like called the SWAT team and falsified this claim or whatever and made this claim to bring in the SWAT team or whatever, you're fucked up. Okay, you're fucked up. You're like pitted two people against each other for no reason
while doing a raid or some sort of search. So I'm sorry that this satirical video hurts your feelings. Not really.
All
But
just
at the end of the day,
all because of a fucking troll on the internet, bro.
I'd much rather somebody have a song made about me and that's what I'm having to navigate through than the embarrassment and actual property damage and theft of dollars that Afro Man is having to go through because you guys didn't do your due diligence thinking that Afro Man, of all people, was doing some sort of trafficking and kidnapping.
True. Honestly, I don't. The police are low-key kind of crazy. If they just hear like a tiny bit of like a
Some sort of rumor.
of a rumor, they're gonna break in, bro. Which is insane.
I don't know. I can't really take the cops in this situation seriously. This is truly a non-issue.
You can't take him seriously at all because they're breaking in after because of a rumor. Like they should be investigating him before they do anything, dude.
It also doesn't help that one of Afro Man's defense witnesses is the deputy's ex-wife who came here to set the record straight that this is a satirical song and that songs like WAP and songs just like Afro Man put out are not derogatory to women in any way, shape, form, or fashion.
I'm going to give you the complete song and then summarize it because I want to say it once. Are you familiar with the song Wet Ass Pussy?
Yes,
Is that a rap song?
it is.
Has your students played it in class?
Once, and I asked them to please turn it off.
When they were listening to it, did they think that was fact?
No,
So they didn't think that that was depicting anything in real life?
no.
You've heard the song, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Do you believe it's a literal interpretation?
No.
You agree it's derogatory towards women?
No?
Even though it says nasty things about them?
Yeah, no. I mean, It's the artist's opinion, I guess. That's the way I feel.
Damn.
Maybe not an opinion you like, but
Yeah.
Bring a bucket
I'm
and a
sorry.
mop for this wet ass pussy. That is not derogatory. That's facts. If you got wet pussy, bro.
This is peak simulation maxing. How much of a D-bag do you have to be for your ex-wife to not even support you in court? I'm letting y'all know right now, if you have not, go back and look at all of the clips from this court case because it is the funniest thing in the world.
can you tell me what fact about you that receding hairline or dipshit refers to, please?
I'm sorry.
What private fact of yours does that refer to?
I mean, there's
Dude, this is like, oh my God, this is embarrassing, bro.
Bro,
To go through this shit? Oh, hell
This is like some
no.
sort of humiliating ritual for
Dude,
this man.
oh, hell no.
Picture
He
of
just
me
set
and,
himself up for this
Talking
shit.
about balding.
here, talking about.
Oh, God.
See, I wouldn't trust him with methane.
This is just gonna make everybody like 10 times more insecure after this. Bro.
Amphetamine crack ass alone in my house. I find that pretty insulting.
So that statement is what you're
I don't
suing.
know. I told you this is one of many.
Well, and that's why we're
You
trying
keep
to.
trying to make it singular. I'm telling you, it's not singular. It's plural.
Yeah, y'all like
And so one of them is dipshit, one is receding hairline,
Yeah.
and the other is methods.
Yes.
Is there any more?
Well, when he sat there making accusations against the organization that I, at that time, was working for, destroying community trust, all based off of a lie.
Oh, he's so full of
That's
it.
what.
He's so
ultimately
full of it.
stopped.
And that's community trust in the Adams County Sheriff's Department, right?
Yes.
God, he's so fucking full of it. Now, I think it goes without saying that Afro Man wins this trial. I don't think that there was anything that they really had against him. The claims of defamation were totally out of pocket. They actually did mess up his house. These guys are losers like Rip Bozo. This is stupid.
Big W's Arrow Man. That's a lot of people, bro. What?
All
They're
in all,
actually
I guess this
updated with
goes to
this
show
shit.
that if you have somebody that you're about to torture or torment or bully or pick on or, I don't know, kick down their door in some sort of raid, make sure you do your due diligence, gang, and find out if they are a Grammy-nominated rapper because you're going to end up on a music video looking like an idiot. And
Dang, he's Grammy nominated, bro. This game
Damn.
going on since 2002 when he finally won. This is insane.
Yeah.
Holy. Let's hear us testify.
The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. As this, you shall answer unto God.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. And have a seat.
Thank you, Your Honor. Name as Afro Man of the United States. Have you
To a few. You know, it's a lot of days, but I don't know exactly.
Yeah, that one. This one was really
what they
pretty
did
good.
searching your house gave you the right to do everything you
Under the circumstance that I got freedom of speech, after they run around my house with guns and kick down my door, I got the right to kick a can in my backyard, use my freedom of speech, turn my bad times into a good time. Yes, I do.
W.
Yeah, there's nothing against him having freedom of speech. Like, he just filmed a video and put it out there. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
And I think I'm a sport for doing so, because I don't go to their house,
he didn't incite a riot or anything, you know?
Yeah.
So he's totally fine.
kick down their doors, flip them off on their surveillance
Damn.
then try to play the victim and sue them.
He has a point.
You were at Lisa Phillips's deposition, correct?
Yes, sir.
In your lawyer's office.
Yes, sir.
Same office where you filmed part of that video last Friday.
Yes, sir.
And you saw how upset she was when she was answering your lawyer's questions about how this had affected her, right?
Yes, yes,
And you saw your attorney say, do we need to take a break?
yes,
And you saw her say, no, let's go on and get this over with.
yes, sir.
You saw all that.
Yes.
You knew she was upset.
Just like she knew I was upset when she was standing in front of my kids with an AR-15 with her hand around the trigger ready to shoot me. Just like she knew I was upset when she cut my cameras. But I'm not a person, she is. So I'm sorry for being a victim. Let's talk about the predators.
Okay. So you saw all that. You saw how upset she was. You heard the testimony about her.
He has like a response, like he's quick with this shit, bro. He's like, nah, let's not talk about the victim. I'm me as the victim, but them as the predator or whatever. Like, he is so fast with his responses.
Children. You heard the testimony at the depositions about Randy Newland's daughter who came home upset. You heard all that, but you're still posting stuff about
Yeah,
it.
because I understand it was Randy's fault and all of
I mean, he gotta keep posting. This is how he's monetizing this shit to pay for the lawyer fees.
their fault for coming in my house in the first place. So if they hadn't came to my house, their children wouldn't be saying nothing. None
Yeah.
of this would be going home.
Yep.
If they had did their
None of this would have
research and
happened.
did things right. So all of this is their fault.
Facts.
And now they want to sue me for their mistake.
Is there anything that could change your mind about what you're doing to these deputies?
Is there anything that can change my mind about the fact that they shouldn't have been at my house in the first place?
Why does it sound like
there
the judge is trying to protect the deputies, bro? Like, instead of the victim right here.
The judge is just trying to get him to chill out.
Like, it's like a one-sided court, man. Come on,
that
man.
can change my mind about how my money shouldn't have been touched in the first place?
Facts.
That's all the questions I have. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, W man for answering everything.
America won.
In all circumstances, the jury finds in favor of the defendant.
W. Jerry.
Verdict prevailed.
He has his nails painted and everything. Yeah.
He knew he was gonna win.
Aura. Dude, this is straight up aura
Wait,
coming out of
dude,
court.
all the women following him and everything.
America won. America still
This has been going on for since 2002, bro. What are you talking about?
24 years, bro.
America won.
Yeah, I would have gave up.
24 years over some fucking petty ass shit. This is actually insane.
This is their
All
fault.
of this is their fault.
Afro Man, congratulations, my guy.
You deserve it, my guy.
Let's see his celebration.
Fighting for freedom, guys.
Yeah, we did it, America. Yeah, we did it. Freedom of speech. Right on. Right on. Yeah. God bless America. Yeah. Power to the people. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We did it, America.
I wonder if he just hired all these people to come out, or if this is like actually people who know about this stuff. That's crazy, but yeah, crooked officers, bro. Crooked officers, bro.
L research team, bro.
Hey guys, now we're gonna put Afro Man in the video, and we're gonna get sued by him too.
Hey, another 20 years in the trial, you know.
Now I want some lemon pound cake. Holy,
dude!
I low-key
dude,
want
the
some...
officer was enjoying it in that one video we watched earlier.
It should do look good. Should do look good. All right. We're off to the next topic, guys. Okay.
Next topic.
Next topic, we're gonna be talking about some Iran probably, and Iran, more news related stuff. We can go into the TSA actually. Let's hop into the TSA before we just go straight up over. Wow. Okay. All right. So what's going on with so what's going on with the TSA stuff, right? TSA apparently so the Republicans are trying to get the Democrats to vote on funding ICE, okay? And this is like, I think it was like recently, I don't even know, okay? But they're trying to get them to fund ICE, but they don't want to fund ICE, all right? So then they have to find a loophole. So the loophole was basically because ICE is under the DHS, which is like the Department of Homeland Security. TSA is under that, and then ICE is also under that, you know? So the Republicans are trying to get just more funding in general for the whole DHS, you know? And one big beautiful bill, you know? But the Democrats are like, no, we got to separate this. It doesn't make sense because they don't want to fund ICE, okay? And then what's going on with like Minneapolis and then the shooting and all this stuff going on, you know? So then they don't want to fund that bill. So then they're in disagreement. No one can come to a conclusion yet. So a lot of that funding has been on halt, which basically means TSA agents can't get paid, okay? Because no money is getting funded towards the TSA people right now. So then a bunch of airports are like really struggling with long ass lines because no one wants to come to an agreement apparently with this government, you know? So crazy lines. Let me just go ahead and show you guys like what's going on with these lines.
Massive headache. as TSA lines lag during what could be a
This is
record-breaking
insane.
spring travel period. Almost
Especially during spring break too. This is insane.
400 TSA agents have resigned since the start of the partial shutdown.
400 people. Okay, 366. Okay, but roughly estimated up to like 400 people, workers have already left. That's crazy.
Making this weekend even more frustrating for travelers. So how is the White House getting travel back on track? Here with us now is Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy. Always so great to see you. Good to see you too, Charlie. Thanks for having me. So not only do we have the sick-outs, the call-outs, but we have these flat-out resignations, which is going to make things 10 times worse.
Yeah, so, I mean, a TSA agent doesn't make the most amount of money when they start. It's anywhere from $45,000, $55,000 a year. And they're living in big cities, Atlanta, Chicago, New York. And they've already missed one full paycheck. Next Friday, they missed their second full paycheck. And they're paying rent and trying to put food on the table. They can't actually make ends meet.
Yeah, this has been going on for weeks, guys, weeks.
During this time. And so they're going, listen, I'm going to pick a different career path and they'll go somewhere else. But I mean, this is interesting in that the Democrats are saying, again, we've let 15 million people into the country. We don't know who they are, and we want to defund Homeland Security. And it's just a mindset difference. Donald Trump is so...
It's not even about defunding Homeland Security. It's more of defunding ICE, not just Homeland Security.
Proud of what he's done in Washington, D.C. I mean, bring the crime rate down, the death rate down, the murder rate down. All the while, Democrats seem to...
I mean, murder rates and death rate has been going down, like, already, okay? So this is, like, he is saying, like, factual news, but it's not because of Trump, you know? It's because the rates have just been going down throughout the years. Year over year, it's just been going down.
I want to celebrate that. They want to let criminals on the street, and they don't want to enforce immigration laws. As an American, I don't know why they're taking this position, negotiate with Republicans, but at the same time, don't inflict pain on the American people, right? I mean, and this is what
it takes two to tango, okay? You can't just blame the Democrats, and you can't just you can't blame the Republicans either, okay? Because they're trying to protect immigration, but then again, the Democrats are like, no, you're killing people. So you got to understand both sides.
The American people are the leverage point.
Yeah, and you know, back when...
No, the American people do not have the leverage point. The American people are suffering due to this. Literally, you can't even... You have to wait in like hour to day long lines just to go travel, and it's spring break. What are we talking about?
You were in direct politics yourself. You know, the Democrat Party claimed to be sort of the party of the working class, and I think it's interesting that you mentioned the very important point about TSA workers not getting paid.
It's because two parties can't come to an agreement. Everybody has to suffer. The workers don't get paid. The TSA agents are literally leaving because they think their job security is not intact anymore. What? And then without the security, we can't travel. If we can't travel, we can't get shit done.
I can't think of anything more hostile towards working people than saying, you know what, we want to abolish ICE and we want open borders, therefore we're not going to pay these people who work for a living.
Yeah, and it's even beyond that. President Trump ran on the open border and actually getting illegals out of the country. Democrats ran on open borders and, you know, we want to keep these folks in America. Donald Trump won, right? That race was won. Republicans have the House, the Senate.
Actually, you look it up, even with him saying this, like, Biden has deported more illegals than Trump, and even at a higher rate too. So on this term that Trump is doing, he's not even gonna like beat Biden. You know, Biden has actually deported more people and at a higher, faster rate too.
In the White House. But Democrats seem to want to redo the election and go back to their old policies. And we're talking about spring break. We have a lot of families that travel during spring break, and it's hard enough for you to stand in a 2 or 3 hour line, or me by myself in a 2 or 3 hour line. But you're traveling with a family, with kids, and you have to spend that much time. I just wish they would stop using the American people as leverage, make them go through pain so Democrats can get what they want legislatively.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's not even, dude. It's literally both sides. Okay, it's not even just the Republicans or the Democrats. Okay, it's both of them. They're both retarded. Okay, why are we letting these people like rule our fucking lives when they can barely come to an agreement on what needs to be done for American citizens?
They're taking travelers as hostage in order to get their
basically
that
yes.
Nobody supports anyway. So what is it? What can the White House do to help sort of ease this as they continue to fight the big fight?
I mean, I saw this with our air traffic controllers. I mean, it's really out of our hands. It's really Democrats have to say, "I'm willing to come to the table," and you've heard Republicans consistently say, "We'll work with Democrats." You know, what do you want with ICE agents?
That's totally wrong because literally. They said they're going to work with them, right? But then that's technically so false because Democrats are literally just saying, yes, okay, we want to work with you. We want to pay the TSA, okay? Let's separate the TSA from the ICE, okay? Let's separate those two bills. Let's fund the TSA and let's hold back on the ICE, okay? That's what Democrats have been saying. But Republicans are like, no, this has to be one big, beautiful bill. One big, beautiful bill, okay? So then they can forcefully force the Democrats to use the TSA and humans as leverage into getting funding for ICE.
But that doesn't make sense though. But shouldn't we fund the TSA so that this wouldn't happen in the first place? Why would we need to fund ICE right now? We can work ICE for another day. Like, why would you need to do both of them at the same time? Just do it one at a time. You know, to separate it and get the TSA funded, and so that now we don't have to wait a fucking 3-hour line to fucking go somewhere.
We've sent over numerous proposals, but Donald Trump said, listen, you want to put body cams on? Is that one of the things you want? Okay, we'll put body cams on. What Democrats really want, though, is ICE agents to take masks off their face. And by the way, they spent 2 years making us wear masks. What they want to do is be able to dox.
That's stupid though. Like,
that's actually funny though.
That's actually stupid because like, why would you want like an ICE agent to take off the mask for? Like, this is to protect their identity. You know, at the end of the day, like they have a family too. And people are freaking mad at ICE agents. They're gonna go dox them and they're gonna like kidnap the kids or something like that, or do something terrible to their family. You don't know. Like, the mask is there to protect the ICE agents. Like, that's like, you cannot tell them to take it
Just
off.
imagine once AI comes out and then like they don't even need masks because it's just fucking robots holding fucking guns at your head.
No, that'd be
like, now
scary.
you're actually cooked. All right?
No.
And that means harass the agent themselves, their families, their kids, protest outside their homes. And again, these are just men in law enforcement who are trying to enforce American law, do their jobs. But Democrats say, no, we want to hold you accountable and protest at your house.
But 5 minutes ago, the big sticking point was the body cams. And Republicans said, here, take body cams. 5 minutes ago, the big sticking point was the tactics being used in Minneapolis. And President Trump said, here, we're going to switch that
It's
up.
not even about body cams, okay? It's more of like they just don't want to fund ICE no longer, okay?
Yeah.
You have to understand that. They just don't want to fund ICE.
Yep.
That it's not about body cams. We like safety this, safety that, okay? It's more of like, no, we don't want them here, period.
Exactly.
That's it.
They want to get rid of them.
At what point, what makes you think that the masks is where the negotiation ends?
And so the point is, do they really want to deal?
Right,
That's what we're asking. And I think the point is the base is so angry at Trump, they have Trump derangement syndrome, that no matter what the proposal is, they want to make sure that the people, the 15 million people that were let in, even the bad homebrew.
But then again, like, I do understand on the other behalf, whereas like they do want ICE agents to show their face. I kind of do understand that too, because you want to know like who is responsible for doing what they end up doing to you, you know? So like how do you know who's responsible for illegally like taking you or illegally doing whatever is illegal, you know, towards you. So you do want to be able to identify them. So that I understand. It takes two to tango at the end of the day.
So you want them to hold them accountable in case they do something illegal to you.
Everybody should always be accountable for their actions.
Right.
They want to leave them here. Don't deport them. They want them part of their communities. If they commit crimes, they want to let them out on the streets to commit more crimes against the American people. I mean, that's a radical position. Or at least the base has that position. And Democrats in Congress are forced to hold that line, which, again, is anti-American and anti-common sense.
Although it is TDS, but it's also because they have made their entire existence based on illegals being in the country and not reforming the...
I mean, we low-key do need a lot more immigrants, okay? I'm not saying we need illegals, but we do need a lot more immigrants, and that system is already dog water, okay?
Yeah.
So that's
a
horrible.
whole nother story.
Yeah, that's a whole nother topic to debate, but...
Securing our elections. I want to ask you about this real quick because it's such an important story, about these migrant truckers. You've got new rules coming online that are going to secure our highways in that regard. And at the very least, these new rules will address the issue of illegals who are driving these big 18-wheelers, and maybe equally important, these illegals who don't speak English. We don't have to read
a road sign, a stop sign, right? So
I mean, there's a reason why the illegals are driving 18-wheelers, because no one else is willing to do the work, and they're willing to do it for cheaper pay, and then that's how we hire them.
Speak English. You should actually be trained in how to drive a truck. It's an 80,000-pound missile potentially. There's that. But also, if you come to the country and you don't have a green card or you're not a citizen, we are significantly reducing the ability for you to get a commercial driver's license.
I mean, first off, it doesn't take a genius to drive a truck, okay? I'm just gonna be honest. Like that, it doesn't. Like, yes, you do need the CDL license. That's super important, okay? Like, I've seen like people who are shitty fucking drivers, okay? So yes, we do need great drivers for these type of jobs, because we're talking about thousands of pounds on these truckers, you know?
Exactly.
So it's like, we do need safety, yes, of course, okay? But who's gonna take the jobs at the end of the day?
It's clear not the Americans.
The Americans don't want it.
There's about 200,000 of these drivers on the road right now. Our rule will take about 97,000 of them. Here's the problem, though. This is looking forward. Right. I can't revoke the licenses that were already issued. I need the states to do that. So if the states will actually be smart and go, hey, you went to a fake school, or you would not fall under the current rule, they should look back and revoke those licenses so we protect our roads.
It doesn't matter if you're illegal or legal, because as long as you understand the basic English and then you know how to drive a car and like follow the instruction, like the road signs, stuff like that, you'll be fine. So it's not a matter of fact that whether or not you're illegal or legal. It just depends on if you have the skill to freaking drive a truck.
What you want is good American drivers. You drive to Walmart, Charlie. You shouldn't have an 80,000 pound rig rammed into your backside from an illegal who can't drive, who never went to a training school, and should never get a license to be on our roads. That shouldn't be our story.
Your wife is driving with all your children in a minivan down the highway.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a purely like fear mongering. Like this does happen, okay? Like on occasion it does happen, but it's like it really comes down to the driver, okay? And it's not always like the illegals that are doing this. It's literally like American citizens are getting are hurting American citizens too, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like they're really just trying to fear monger. But I'm not saying I'm not rooting for no illegals and none of that, okay?
Yeah, none of that.
They shouldn't be exposed.
We
to
only
this.
want the
And-
legals here. And then another thing is, there's this thing called third-party DPS where you can go get a license very easily. As long as you know how to drive straight, you know how to do a parallel parking or anything, you pass. That's how they pay. That's how they get their license in the first place. So it's not only legals or illegals are doing that. Like freaking American citizens are doing that shit too.
Of course, as their those licenses in states that don't cooperate expire,
They won't be able to issue new ones. But again, this is it's safety and road safety is really good politics, which makes me go like, I don't know why I'm getting Democrats to fight me. Like, I don't get
Nothing
it.
partisan about it.
Nothing partisan.
Sean Duffy, thank you so much. Always great.
That's because they don't really see the bigger picture, okay? Because they're trying to state like the obvious, okay? And that's like everybody already understands the obvious.
Yeah.
But if you go deeper, like much deeper, you'll find out that like the system is messed up, bro. It's like we can't solve these problems just by like having like simple thinking like this, you know? It's like way deeper, you know? It's like we do need more workers, yes. On the other hand, it's like a balancing act, you know? It's like on one hand you need a lot more workers to keep prices down for literally everybody.
Exactly.
But on the other hand, it's like you can't have illegals coming into the country all the time, you know? So it's like how do we find a middle ground where we can have a lot of workers and a lot of cheap labor come in, but then again, it's not like gonna come at the expense of the American.
Yep. And that is why we fixed the immigration system, guys.
Yeah, we gotta fix the immigration system. Who wants to go ahead and do that?
Raise your hand, please. Everybody raise your hand in chat. Anybody in chat wants to raise their hand?
Yeah, no one wants to.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's go. Let's take it the easy way out and blame all the illegals.
Yeah, so everybody takes the easy route and just never wants to find a solution. Everybody just always wants to fight about
Yeah, he
the
did
problem.
this, you did that. I'm pointing
and
the
point
fingers
the
here.
finger, but no one wants to actually solve the underlying issue, which is immigration.
Yes, exactly.
All right, we're on next topic. Okay, we're gonna go to Twitch now, everybody. We're gonna go to Twitch and Kick and everywhere else, YouTube.
Yep.
So follow us on like every other link. So link in bio, okay.
At Professor Andy.
Link tree, you know. So you can find us there, but we're gonna be off TikTok for now. All right.
All you TikTok frogs, hop over.
Yeah, hop over. All right.
Remember, guys, it's at Professor_Andy. Remember that? Twitch, YouTube, Kick,
Wait, you
everywhere.
don't even have my link tree in here, bro. Oh, bro.
Oh. You didn't even turn off TikTok.
Was it even on? Or was it like? Let me mud. Okay.
Okay, we gotta talk about Ukraine and that Iran.
We got a lot of things we gotta talk about on this news today. Okay, there's a lot to break down. Lots to break down. Very, very, very crazy amounts of breakdown.
Russia and China is joining the war now. World War III about to break loose. Oh man, what is happening?
We were just. All right. We're back. Okay, back with the news. All right, let's go ahead and just react to this, see what's going on. I think China has now joined the war and Russia too.
Oh, no.
So we might be cooked, guys. We might be cooked.
As we're going to World War III. Yeah.
The United States and Israel have started a war with Iran that is very soon going to look much like the war between Ukraine and Russia, and here's why. The surprise attack on Iran was intended to decapitate the leadership by killing Ayatollah Khomeini in a way of making sure that Iran's Islamic theocracy would fall and crumble to the ground. But in fact, that didn't happen. What happened instead is that Ayatollah Khomeini was assassinated and then immediately replaced by a new Ayatollah Khomeini, the exact person that Donald Trump told the whole world he would not accept. In that very simple action, Iran sent a message loud and clear to the rest of the Western world that it was not going to give up easily, that it could prolong and withstand this fight.
I mean, no one can prolong in this fight. No one can.
For as long as needed. This was the same kind of message that we saw coming from President Zelensky shortly after Russia invaded Ukraine. When Russia's first tranche of attacks was unsuccessful and Ukraine's defense allowed the government to maintain just a little bit longer, it created two powerful opportunities. First, it made Russia look weak in the face of a much smaller, much weaker military force. Second, it created an opportunity for Western powers to rally and start providing support to Ukraine. The exact same two opportunities have now been created for Iran as well. By surviving
so then now China and Russia are going to help them.
The first onslaught attack and by identifying a new Ayatollah Khomeini, this time Mujtaba Khomeini, Iran has shown that it can also survive against a much stronger, much more capable military force and that the Islamic Republic would not back down. And the second opportunity is happening in front of our eyes even as we speak. Support is flooding into Iran, specifically from countries like Russia, China, and even Pakistan. While foreign support to Iran wasn't present on day one, it very quickly made itself clear before the end of the first week, with Russia providing intelligence support to help Iran identify, prioritize, and choose targets that it could effectively reach with its limited ballistic missiles and its Shahed drones. Russia's decision to get involved in the fight came shortly on the heels of Ukraine's decision to also get in the fight supporting Israel and the United States and learning how to defend against Iran's Shahed.
Ukraine is fighting two wars now.
Drones. So in many ways, the same drone war that we've watched playing out in Ukraine is now migrating its way into the Middle East, with of course the Iranians using their native Shahed drones and the United States using their own version of a reverse engineered Shahed drone to fight back.
Why is Ukraine going to the Middle East for it? Shouldn't they be defending against Russia right now? Like, isn't Russia like still invading them?
But the drone war is actually the most superficial part of the similarities that exist between Iran and the United States and Ukraine and Russia. The bigger, more important parallel is coming from the idea of foreign support. Foreign support that will exacerbate and prolong the conflict much longer than what would have happened had it just been a conflict between two powers, a small, weaker military force and a much stronger, dominant military force. And that support is, of course, coming from foreign powers like China, Russia, and even Pakistan. Now, Pakistani support has been the most limited primarily just political statements and support for the Shia minority and the perceived martyrdom of their Ayatollah Ali Khomeini. When we start looking at Russia and China, we see much more substantive support to Iran, particularly the type of support that could be prolonged over time, that could really turn Iran into Donald Trump's forever war. in much the same way that the Taliban, another theocracy, turned Afghanistan into Bush's and then Obama's and then, of course, Trump's forever war. So let's dig into exactly how Russia and China are helping Iran. And we'll start with Russia first. So yes, Russia is, of course, providing intelligence support that not only helps Iran choose which targets to prioritize, but also helps Iran to identify the locations in Iran that Israel and the United States are either not able to reach or not paying attention to at any given time. Russia comes with superior satellite intelligence, which is known as imagery intelligence, or IMIT, and it can provide that imagery to Iran to help it identify its target acquisition and help it identify movements of Israeli and American military forces. But we also see Russia supporting tactical on-the-ground efforts, not only for Iran in general, but for the IRGC specifically. And if Iran...
Yeah, Iran has like the specialized satellites, but they don't have the AI that America has. So then it's like almost, it's good, but it's not like American good.
But isn't it where Russia comes in though? It provide that for them?
No, that's what I just said. Russia.
You said Iran.
Oh.
Russian tactics, then it's safe to say that Iranian proxies are also benefiting from Russian tactics, which means Hezbollah, Hamas, and even the Houthis are gaining at least secondary benefit from tactical training that comes by way of the Russian military. Now, before anybody says that the Russian military isn't that impressive, consider the fact that Russia and Ukraine have been engaged in a near...
Russia can't even beat Ukraine, bro.
Yeah,
they're cooked. Yeah. A small ass country like that, they can't even win, bro.
Nah, I'm pretty sure.
What are you talking about?
Now Russia's just in it for the money right now at this point.
War for the last 4 years. Both countries have some of the most current battlefield experience, war fighting experience, and active logistical supply chain management experience in the game. One of the areas that Russia has not been able to help Iran is really economically, because Russia primarily relies on its own oil supplies as exports to create its economic foundation, which is the same primary foundation that Iran uses to generate its own economic income. So for Russian support, it's primarily focused on the battlefield, which means it's going to tie to ground troops, missile salvos, and a whole large realm of intelligence collection, intelligence analytics, and intelligence support. It would also not be a surprise to see Russian support in terms of telecommunications, weapons, ballistics, ammunition, artillery, because Iran...
They just have to help them because they're afraid Iran is going to send nukes their way if they don't.
...supported Russia in many of the same ways.
This is a terrestrial problem, like I said. Like, they either are going to take over Russia or Russia is going to take over them, or the same thing with China. You know, it's either China takes over Iran or Iran takes over China. So they have to support each other in the meantime.
Exactly.
During their war on Ukraine. In fact, some of the best ways to consider...
The big question of the day is, why is America still there? Get the fuck
how
out,
Russia
bro.
might help Iran is by looking at how Iran has helped Russia in the past. Iran supported Russia by providing them with drone technology, not just providing them with drones like the Shahed drone, but by actually showing them how to build their own drones and helping them create their own plants to manufacture the drones in Russia. So it wouldn't be a surprise.
Yeah, and then now America blew up all their plants. So yeah, good luck. But they're still gonna manufacture them in China. China. China monetizes, Russia monetizes. Every country low-key monetizes.
Surprised to start seeing some of those drones built in Russia sent to Iran.
So same thing with like Israel. I think Israel is probably gonna like get the brute force of everything that Iran has to offer, and America's gonna monetize through Israel basically.
Yeah.
So Israel's gonna ask for help. America's gonna come. We're gonna monetize off of Israel.
Start being used in the fight against the Americans and the Israelis. Iran also helped Russia by teaching them how to get around
China will be taking over Japan.
Sanctions that were posed on them during the Ukraine war. Iran is an expert at knowing how to get around, bypass, and subvert international sanctions in order to still make economic income, and to do it without relying on the US dollar. So now that Russia has had that financial support from Iran, it wouldn't be a shock to start seeing additional support from Russia to Iran in terms of some kind of financial workaround, whether that's direct loans or whether that's some way of subverting economic sanctions so that Iran can generate its money on its own. Lastly, Iran supported Russia with ammunition and artillery at the very critical moment where Russian-made ammunition and artillery started to run low. We don't know how much Iran may have also participated in joint negotiations with China and North Korea, all of which have rallied together to help Russia in their fight against Ukraine. So there's a large black curtain around how close these foreign powers have collaborated in the past and how they might coordinate again to support Iran in the fight against the United States and Israel. But now let's look at China's involvement in the war in Iran. Now, while China has not made the same splash on headlines that Russia has made in their support to Iran, it's important to notice where China is and has been supporting Iran. First, China is extremely loyal to Iran because 12% of all the consumed oil in China actually comes from Iran traditionally. So historically, we've seen energy consumption from China of at least 12% coming directly from Iran. We can expect to see even more coming from Iran as they have a war that they have to fund. So we should expect to see more Iranian oil going to China, and China buying more Iranian oil, again, without the US dollar, which has a double benefit to China. It reduces the valuation of the US dollar, which continues to increase the inflation of the US dollar for you and me, but it also gives Iran a way to bypass sanctions and get oil to China in exchange for revenue from China. Much needed revenue that it will need to continue fighting this war against Israel and the United States.
This is why I said multiple times, you want to end this war, you have to go for their oil fields. There's literally their oil refineries. There's literally no other way.
States. But even more important than the flow of oil is the flow of technology from China to Iran. China has helped Iran build their electronic warfare capability and their offensive cyber operational capability. That same cyber operational capability that you see playing out in headlines right now as hackers hack from Iran against major industries in the United States, like financial targets, medical targets, and even telecommunication targets. All of that offensive cyber capability came from China, and the electric warfare capability that supports it also came from China. Not to mention the fact that China also supports the ballistic missile program in Iran, both non-nuclear and nuclear. Iran uses China's GPS network. Iran uses Chinese telecommunication networks. Iran even uses Chinese stealth detection capabilities. So much of the technological backbone of Iran is actually built on Chinese tech, which means that China gets a chance to exercise how capable their tech is in an active war zone against the United States, which is going to help China gain insight into what a potential conflict over Taiwan would look like, how resilient their GPS, how resilient their telecommunications, and how resilient their own aircraft detection services really are. If you
the one thing we have to remember, guys, it's like these are presidents, like leaders, okay, that are going to war for this, okay? This is not you normal civilians can even come to comprehend. First off, you have to remember, Trump is a businessman, okay? He's not a leader. He's a businessman. He'll do whatever it takes to make fucking money from this deal. He'll make money, bro. It's for his own pockets or for his own family pockets. But I'm telling you, he's not going to help you dumb fuck Americans that keep rooting for him.
Really think about it, you've been seeing the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, and Israel's Netanyahu himself talk about the air dominance that Israel and the United States have over Iran. Despite having such dominance in the air, you also still see rockets coming out of Iran and Lebanon going into Israel and other targets across the Middle East. Well, if there's such air superiority, how are there also missiles that can still take off? That's because of Chinese capability. Because China's able to help Iran distract their enemy, know their enemy's whereabouts, and hide their missile launches. The strategy here is crystal clear. As long as Iran can degrade the United States, Russia and China benefit from watching it play out, seeing the US's capabilities, seeing the US's limitations, and watching how Chinese and Russian systems hold up against American systems. It's the same strategy that the United States and many powers across Europe have used in Ukraine, as they've supported Ukraine depleting Russia. So this idea of a proxy war has really entered a whole new phase. Not only is Ukraine a proxy for the United States and the West against Russia, but now we're seeing that Iran is a proxy for the Eastern powers like China and Russia against the United States specifically, and Israel to a secondary level.
But then again, this is like I said, it's a terrestrial problem. Okay, like yes, we can put our resources into Ukraine and try to get Russia not to like expand, but in the end, it's like they will expand. It's like it's the ocean borders is what is gonna keep us from losing that war, you know? Whereas they are literally on the ground already there, you know? So then they can easily like prolong that war and win. Whereas like we have to keep sending supplies and troops down there. We lose that fight.
States is spending more than $5 billion a week executing operations against Iran. Iran is spending a small fraction of that defending itself. So who's really going to be able to prolong this war longer? The United States economy or the Iranian economy that's currently being picked up by Russia and China, spreading the weight and spreading the cost because there is a military benefit to having an alliance at this time against the United States and Israel. Not only are we seeing missiles coming out of Iran, but we're also seeing the United States claim that the Iranian Navy has been completely obliterated, even though Iran still has ships to place mines across the Straits of Hormuz. While the contradictions are...
you can literally take a fucking boat, a normal boat, and lay mines. It's not fucking hard. You don't need a Navy boat to lay a bunch of mines. You only need like 2 dudes in a boat.
Everywhere, the capability that Iran maintains is very clear. And that capability isn't native exclusively to Iran. In large part, that capability only exists because of Iran's alliance with foreign powers. And those foreign powers stand to benefit by turning this Iranian conflict into Trump's...
And not only that, Trump and Xi Jinping are literally going to have a summit like later, like in a couple weeks or to a month or some shit. But very soon they're gonna have a summit. So then they're gonna like talk about energy, talk about the Strait of Hormuz. They're gonna talk about like helping their citizens. But then again, bro, they are literally just trying to fill their own pockets at the end of the day. Okay, they're trying to pin you and me against each other, so then they can better their and benefit their pockets. Okay, come on.
New forever war, Trump's version of Ukraine. This conflict is far from over. Even as we see it start to die down over the next few days and weeks, we'll very likely see it continue to heat up and cool down in cycles over the next few months and years. Not only because it benefits Iran and China so much, but because it also benefits the Islamic Republic that currently manages Iran. The longer that Islamic Republic exists, the longer it shows its legitimacy and its power and its strength and its martyrdom against Israel and the United States. And so much of the Islamic Republic is based on the idea of fighting a fight for a good, noble Islamic economic cause against the great Satan, the United States, and its Israeli partners. The symbolism is not only significant to Iranians, but to Shias worldwide. And Iran's goal has always been to recreate a Shia caliphate across the Middle East. And there's no better way of showing the resilience and the strength and God's favor for Shia Islam than by holding up a holy war against a far superior military coalition. And you don't even have to win, you just have to survive. Because if you can survive long enough, like the Taliban showed us in the global war on terror, then ultimately the theocracy will win out in the end. Just like the Taliban survived 20 years of onslaught by the United States, the Islamic Republic is also looking at whether or not they can do the same thing. Because the same humiliation that occurred when the United States had to leave Afghanistan with their tail between their legs is the same humiliation Iran wants to recreate for the United States and the West. The story that we see in Iran is not just a story of the US versus Iran, it's also a story of the US versus China. And that's why you see so many American actions trying to reduce their dependency on Chinese supply lines. And one of the key ways the US is trying to reduce that dependency on China is specifically in the battery.
This is just a play between China and US, bro. They're just gonna pull together and then create war so then they can supply all these wars. Bro, come on. This is basic.
Space and
China will be taking over Japan. Well, who said that? He said, oh, that's what you said there earlier?
Yeah.
A company called Nouveau Monde Graphite Incorporated is playing a critical role in US strategic efforts to decouple from China. Nouveau Monde Graphite Incorporated batteries.
Trump is either trying to
they power your
make
medical
money for his pocket, or he's trying to pay back the debt the U.S. owes right now.
Devices. Most of the water world is powered by lithium-ion batteries, and China has traditionally held 80% of the global market for producing lithium-ion batteries. And a big part of that dominance that China maintains is because they maintain a 95% monopoly over the production of graphite anodes specifically, a core component and critical mineral needed to make lithium-ion batteries. Lithium-ion battery consumption has increased 20-fold, 2,000% in the last 5 years alone, and that's where NMG comes in. NMG has created a North American solution, a way of permanently separating the United States and Canada's requirements for a graphite anode completely separate from China, which creates an indigenous capability for North America to not only create graphite anode and lithium-ion batteries on its own, but to use that graphite anode in a larger range of strategic technologies because graphite anode has been identified as a critical need mineral. Nouveau Monde Graphite Incorporated, ticker symbol NMG, has created a distinct advantage for Canada and the United States and really all of the Western world to segregate and reduce its dependency on China for critical needs. Whether you're a strategic investor, a news junkie, or an everyday Joe, NMG is literally powering your...
Did he just get NMG to plug him? That's crazy. Yeah, but this war is not meant for us. This war is for the big leagues, okay? Everybody caught in between is literally a pawn, okay?
Yeah,
so then this is why we teach on this channel. The number one thing is to try to finance max, okay? You are going to take the opportunities that you see with war, with news, with whatever it is on the market and try to monetize it to the best of your ability, okay? These are opportunities, okay? Don't think about this as a problem. Don't think about Minneapolis, the ICE agents, Trump's doing this, Trump's doing that, Trump starting going in the middle of fuck nowhere and starting war and blames Biden all the time, all this, all that. This is all fucking noise, okay? You were just trying to mine for the gold, okay? You can listen to it, but mine for the gold. Remember, mine for the gold. So, China, Russia, Ukraine, all like this is all fucking fake news, bro. It's just US, China, and Russia, the biggest powerhouses, controlling everybody, pulling the strings, and making money. It's all it's been about. It's all it's ever gonna be about. All right.
A dramatic escalation is unfolding far beyond the usual battle lines.
No.
Iran has attempted a long-range strike on one of the most strategic
4,000
military bases in the
kilometers.
world. According to multiple U.S. officials, Tehran fired 2 intermediate-range ballistic missiles towards Diego Garcia, a remote but critical U.S.-UK military base deep in the
So Iran has now got Chinese missiles in their hands.
Indian Ocean.
They're limit testing that bitch.
But the strike did not land as intended. One missile reportedly failed mid-flight. The second triggered an urgent defensive response. A U.S. warship launched an SM-3 interceptor in an attempt to neutralize.
I mean, America still has like interceptors, and we just completely obliterated their missile. Okay, so yes, it can go far, but at scale, you're not going to do much damage.
Lies the threat. Whether that interception
Or without scale, you're not gonna do much
remains unclear. But the message behind the launch is anything but uncertain. This was not just an attack, it was a signal of reach, capability, and intent. Diego Garcia lies roughly 4,000 kilometers from Iran's territory, a distance that raises serious questions about Tehran's declared missile limits. Just weeks ago, Iran's foreign minister, Abbas Araghchi, claimed the country had capped its missiles declared
Wait, what? Why does it right here say 2,000 kilometers, and then up here they're saying 4,000 kilometers? What type of bullshit is this, bro?
Missile limits.
Wait, this one says 4,000 kilometers. Why does this one say 2,000
Oh,
kilometers?
that's the middle. That's like the halfway mark.
What does that mean?
Halfway mark.
Just weeks ago, Iran's foreign minister, Abbas Araghchi, claimed the country had capped its missile range at 2,000 kilometers, a statement now facing intense scrutiny. Because this attempted strike suggests something very different, a capability that stretches far beyond previously acknowledged limits. Independent assessments had already hinted at this possibility. Experts from Iran Watch estimate ranges of up to 4,000 kilometers. Other analysts suggest capabilities exceeding 3,000 kilometers with ongoing development. Now, this attempted strike may be the clearest indication yet that Iran's missile program is far more advanced than publicly admitted, and potentially far more dangerous. Diego Garcia is no ordinary base. It is a cornerstone of U.S. military power projection in the region. The facility hosts long-range bombers capable of striking deep into adversary territory. It is also home to nuclear submarines and guided missile destroyers. From this island, major operations across the Middle East and Asia are coordinated, making it one of the most valuable strategic assets in the U.S. arsenal. And now, it appears to be firmly in Iran's crosshairs. The timing of the attempted strike is equally significant. Reports suggest it came just hours after the United Kingdom cleared the base for U.S. operations against Iran, a move that may have triggered a rapid and calculated response from Tehran, turning a distant base into an immediate target. This development comes amid an already explosive conflict.
Yeah, so now everybody wants to be part of this this big old war now, huh? Everybody wants to be a part of World War III all of a sudden. And now we got NATO joining, we got fucking Russia and China joining, and we got Japan joining. Bro, we got UK joining. Bro, this is legit World War III. And the world's about to end, guys. Literally.
Everyone's doing this for the plot at this point, man.
Literally.
Like,
Everybody.
There's no benefit in this at all. Like, actually, unless you're doing it to make money.
It's like every hero or every big guy wants to join in on this war before and be written in the history books before they're forgotten.
The big three.
United States and Israel have carried out joint strikes on Tehran. Strikes that reportedly killed Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, a moment that has dramatically escalated tensions across the region. Since then, the conflict has expanded rapidly, with multiple fronts opening across land, sea, and air. Iran's missile arsenal remains a key factor in this confrontation. Estimates suggest Tehran possesses thousands of ballistic missiles, although recent conflicts have reduced those numbers significantly. Analysts believe around 2,500 missiles remain.
Yeah, you guys have to remember, Elon has the biggest rocket. America's the best.
Operational. These include a range of systems with varying capabilities, from shorter-range tactical weapons to longer-range strategic missiles. Among them, the Khorram missile stands out, with an estimated range of up to 3,000 kilometers. The Imad missile.
Elon can literally put a big-ass nuclear weapon inside of the Falcon 9, and that's like not even like the biggest one. But he can put like the biggest nuclear weapon in the Falcon 9 and just blow up the entire country, bro. This is not even a joke anymore, guys.
The country is like
follows with a range of around 1,800 kilometers, while the Ghadra system can reach between 1,600 and 2,000 kilometers. Other systems, like Shahed-3 and Rizwan, add to the arsenal, extending Iran's reach across vast distances. But the attempted strike on Diego Garcia changes the equation, because it suggests that Iran may already possess even longer-range capabilities.
That's crazy.
It is a sharp, a coordinated drone
4,000 kilometers
and
insane.
cyber offensive,
Nah,
according to the IRGC.
Wow.
Yeah, the only way you truly win this war though is speed and scale. All right, so whoever can speed up or scale up wins.
An escalating cycle of attacks targeting nuclear
Damn.
sites across the Middle East. An Iranian missile striking the Israeli town of Dimona, home to the nuclear weapons program that Israel has never officially acknowledged.
Wow. They went for the power supply.
Authorities say more than 30 injured, while a mass casualty event.
So now Iran is attacking Israel's nuclear infrastructure.
Yep.
And declared in another nearby Israeli city after a direct hit from.
And who profits at the end of the day, guys?
China.
No, it's Israel, so it's America.
A ballistic missile. but no
I guess.
damage reported at the Desert nuclear site. Iranian state media says the attack was in response to an airstrike today on Iran's Natanz nuclear base, a hub for uranium enrichment, which was also attacked last year by U.S. B-2 bombers. Iran says there's no sign of any radioactive leak, while the UN's nuclear agency calling for military restraint to avoid any risk of a nuclear accident. Central Command not saying if the U.S. was behind the attack. Its commander giving this update.
Iran has lost significant combat capability over the last 3 weeks. We also remain zeroed in on dismantling Iran's decades-old threat to the free flow of commerce throughout the Strait of Hormuz.
While at home in the U.S., funerals today for 4 of the 13 service members.
So initially, this war started out as protecting humans from nuclear weapons. Okay, so they destroyed the refineries or whatever.
Yep.
And then it led to the Strait of Hormuz and oil all of a sudden, and then that's the biggest topic.
Mm-hmm.
And then now it's China and Russia joining in. And what else? What do we got for chapter 3, bro? What do we have?
Well, for one, chapter 1 and 2 of China and Russia benefits or profit from there for selling the weapons and shit like that to Iran. And now chapter 3, America about to do the same thing and profit back, you know? So they lose some, they gain some back by supporting Israel now.
It's like they're just like testing out their nukes, and then they just need someone to use it on, or like a reason to use it.
Well, they're the instigator.
Among them, Major Cody Cork, laid to rest in Central Florida.
His memory will be forever be cherished by those who love him and by the nation he proudly served.
While across the Muslim world, the end of Ramadan means presents for children. These kids are among the 1 million people displaced in Lebanon by Israel's expanding offensive against Hezbollah.
This place actually used to be a restaurant, and now you can see it's a camp for people who have to flee their homes.
Rahaf 6 and her little sister Liv. It's not
targeted. I believe Iran had a weapon capable of systems. Or watch live on our YouTube.
Yeah, this is just another whole like pandemic situation where they just want everybody to stay home and do nothing all day long.
Do nothing.
Facts.
And then watch your money degrade because inflation is going up, guys.
Facts.
First Russia, now Iran. Ukraine has unleashed a futuristic weapon that will end the Iranian regime's drone scourge. What is that weapon? Interceptor drones. Ukraine has listened to calls from the US and Middle Eastern countries being affected by Iranian retaliation to Operation Epic Fury, and it stepped up. Ukrainian interceptor drones are being sent to the Gulf region, and they're being used to stop the Shaheeds that Iran is launching at its many enemies. Who's getting these drones? American bases in the Middle East, in Jordan, and maybe we will send also to Saudi Arabia, Zelensky has declared when discussing Ukraine's new agreement with the US. This is huge for Ukraine, and it could have a massive impact on the country as it continues its fight against Putin's brutal invasion of its territory. We'll explain why later in the videos. We first need to cover why Ukraine is sending these drones and how much of an impact they will have on Operation Epic Fury.
Those drones are fast as fuck, just saying.
Why is a simple question to answer, the US asked. During the opening hours of the operation.
But then again, like technology, like for war has always ended up benefiting humanity long term. So technically, them doing this is gonna help humanity one day. It's just like they just don't realize it yet.
Yeah, they're testing the equipments out, you know, before we put it to good use for the citizens.
It's like back then, like when they were researching nuclear, right?
Yep.
Like they just wanted to like drop bombs on people, but then now nuclear is literally like just an energy source that powers literally the U.S. You know, and powers China, powers Russia. You know.
Yep.
So it's like that technology. Without them funding into those technologies, we wouldn't have the technologies we have today. You know, so it's a good thing. So same with these drones. You know, like maybe these drones one day will carry your groceries to your house.
Exactly.
Who knows?
Uber
And
delivery.
6 US military personnel were killed. The weapon that killed them was likely a Shahed-type drone, Euronews reports, and the incident raised immediate alarm bells in the US command. These cheap drones don't compare to what the US brings to the table in terms of modernity or strength. That's the problem. Shaheds are cheap, can be launched in huge numbers, and it only takes 1 or 2 to break through air defenses to cause a lot of damage. Every Shahed swarm that is launched forces the US to expend its far more expensive interceptor missiles to stop them, and the approach doesn't always work. Zelensky himself has pointed that out, noting that the US burned through 800 of its Patriot missiles in the first 3 days of Operation Epic Fury, which is a cost that the US simply can't and shouldn't absorb if it's going to be in an extended fight with Iran.
Yeah, so America just lost 800 missiles. Each one's probably like over $100,000. That's a house for 800 people. Just gone.
So the request came through, as Zelensky explains. We received a request from the United States for specific support and protection against Shaheeds in the Middle East region. Ukraine's president announced on March 5th in a post published on X. He added, I gave instructions to provide the necessary means and ensure the presence of Ukrainian specialists who can guarantee the required security. He added, before offering a pointed reminder that Ukraine stands ready to help ensure the security security of the partners that have helped it to defend itself against the Russian invasion of its territory.
Crazy.
There's a reason for the last part of the message. Ukraine knows that its interceptor drones offer leverage, which is a topic we'll dig into soon. And there's more. Ukraine isn't only sending over interceptor drones to the US bases in the Middle East. The country knows
Like interceptor drones are literally going to be like how you get your mail one day.
all too well that expertise has to accompany the weapon. It won't be as effective as the US and its allies need it to be. Along with the drones, Ukraine is sending experts to the Middle East to teach the US and its partners how to get the most out of their new interceptors. Again, Zelensky took to X to explain, stating on March 17th. Right now, there are 201 Ukrainians in the Middle East and the Gulf region, and another 34 are ready to deploy. Those experts are already in Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates, Zelensky adds, and there are deals being formulated with other countries in addition to the drone deal Zelensky says Ukraine has with the US. Ukraine's expertise is in high demand right now. Anybody who's been paying attention to the Ukraine war will be able to tell you why. The drones that Iran is launching at US bases are the very same types of Shahed drones it's been supplying to Russia almost since the beginning of the Ukraine war. Iran started delivering these drones shortly after Putin launched his invasion, Le Monde points out. And it wasn't long before the country signed a lucrative licensing deal with Putin that allowed Russia to build Shahed-type drones on its own territory, with support from the Iranian regime. This is important in the context of what's happening in the Middle East right now, because it means that Ukraine has been dealing with Shahed drones for 4 years. It knows these drones inside out, which means it understands the tactics used when the drone swarms are unleashed, and it has developed tactics along with weapons to minimize the damage that these swarms can cause. That's the expertise that the US and its Middle Eastern allies want. They're trying to get to grips with the type of fighting that Ukraine has both innovated and defended itself against for years. And Ukraine is in the perfect position to provide the knowledge they need to accelerate their ability to stop Iran's Shahed drones in their tracks. Of course, knowledge is all well and good, but Ukraine has to deliver the weapons to back the knowledge up, and it has the perfect solution in its cheap interceptor drones. Ukraine has already developed several models of interceptors, which have proven themselves very effective against Shaheds, as we'll reveal in a moment. But chief among these interceptor drones and the most likely to make its way to the Middle East is the Sting. Described by the New Voice of Ukraine as an FPV interceptor, Sting already boasts a hit rate of between 80 and 90% when unleashed against
Hit rate of 80 to 90%.
Russia's Shahed-type drones. Ukraine started using this drone in 2025, and its specs reveal why it's a good counter to Iran's Shaheds. A Sting can fly at speeds of up to 315 kilometers or 195.7 miles per hour, meaning it's fast enough to adjust its position in mid-flight to intercept Shaheds that are pre-programmed to hit specific targets. Sting is a short-range solution, as highlighted by its 37-kilometer or almost 23-mile range and its 7-kilometer or 4.3-mile maximum altitude. And best of all, it carries a payload that weighs 500 grams or a little
I bet you this is going to be like the new car in the future. Watch.
over 1 pound, which plays into the low cost involved in producing it. A Sting doesn't need a bigger payload. It's a small amount of explosive combined with the kinetic energy generated by a collision and the explosive packed into the incoming Shahed to take the Iranian drones out of the sky. We mentioned low cost a moment ago. That, more than anything else, is why the US and its Middle Eastern allies are clamoring to get their hands on Ukraine's interceptors. And to explain why, here's a little scenario. Iran launches yet more of its Shahed drones at an American base. Each of these drones costs Iran somewhere in the region of $20,000 to $50,000 to produce, which is a pittance in the context of traditional military spending. The US has to respond, and it does so by firing Patriot missiles to intercept drones. Each of these missiles costs the US about $4 million to build. Let's say there are 5 of Iran's drones in the swarm, which is a relatively small number. The cost to Iran is no more than $250,000. The cost to the US, a staggering $20 million. Even if none of Iran's drones hit their targets, it forces the US to blow 80 times the amount of money it costs Iran to send the Shaheds their way. That is an attritional tactic. It's one that Iran can lean on to put pressure on the US. There are only so many Patriot missiles in the US stockpiles. And if Zelensky is correct, the US had already launched 800 of those missiles during the first 3 days of Operation Epic Fury. And America's already spent $3.2 billion on interceptor missiles, plus whatever it spent during the rest of its conflict with Iran. This isn't sustainable, even for the richest military in the world. The Sting interceptor solves all of these problems. The New Voice of Ukraine puts the cost of building Ukraine's drone interceptor at a measly $1,000. Reuters has it slightly higher, quoting a figure of around $2,000, which may be the Sting's export price. But either way, this one futuristic and ingeniously designed drone transforms one of the biggest cost burdens that the US faces in Operation Epic Fury into a distinct advantage. Now it's not Iran that's getting the better return on investment when it unleashes its drone swarms. In our scenario, the US cost of interception drops from $20 million to around $5,000 to $10,000, which is hundreds of thousands of dollars less than it costs Iran to launch the 5 drones we positive. That is permanent for the ages. And it transforms what could have been a winning strategy for Iran into an attritional nightmare, the likes of which it was trying to inflict on the US. The only hope that Iran has is that Ukraine's interceptor drones aren't as effective as the US needs them to be. But that hope has already been dashed, and we'll explain why in a moment. Before we do, this is a quick reminder that you're watching the military show. This is the kind of insight that Ukraine. Iran can't even hope that the stockpiles that Ukraine can send to the Middle East will run out. In 2025 alone, Ukraine built 100,000 of its interceptor drones, its National Security and Defense Council revealed. Bear in mind.
See, that's scalable, cheap, and they can manufacture them fairly quickly. So, same thing with like, what's it called? The little car, hot rods? Is that what they're called?
Hot rods?
What are they called? The little toy cars.
The e-remote cards?
No. Hot rods. What are they called? What is it called? Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels.
Hot Wheels.
So same thing. I like Hot Wheels, right? Elon took the same concept of Hot Wheels, implemented into Tesla so they can manufacture faster at scale. So same thing here. If they can manufacture these drones at scale, they're going to start doing them in airplanes too. It's just a matter of time.
Ukraine didn't start using its interceptors in high volume until the end of 2025. Now Ukraine claims its production capacity for interceptor drones has grown 8-fold, literally in the case of the Shahed, effective interceptors.
We're done for this topic. This topic is getting booty. All right, booty, bro. Let's get a booty, bro. All right.
New lawsuit. Hassan.
Oh yeah. What's the Elon thing? Let's watch the Elon thing. Hold on. All right, we're gonna check out Tesla's new plans. Let's see what they got in store.
The man Elon is here talking about it too.
The important announcement to make, which is the most epic shipbuilding exercise in history by far. This is really going to take things to the next level.
No way.
So, yeah, a level probably people aren't even contemplating right now. This is not in the, I call this sort of an out of context problem. It's not in their context. So we're going to adjust the context by a few orders of magnitude here. It's a joint effort. I'm pressing the button, but the button's not working. We aspire to be a galactic civilization. So I think the future that everyone, well, most people I think would agree is the most exciting is one where we're out there among the stars, where we are not forever confined to one planet, that we become a multi-planet species, like the best science fiction that you've ever read.
Really put up the Kardashev scale.
You know, Star Trek, or Ian Banks, or Asimov, or Heinlein, and want to make that real. Yeah, not just fiction. Turn science fiction to science fact.
So he's making people already dream really fucking far. That hey,
W mans.
Good to dream about, but probably not gonna happen in our lifetimes.
That's the glorious, exciting future that's something to look forward to. And it's worth considering sort of like, how would you rate civilizations? You know, so there was a physicist, I think it was Russian, in the 60s, Kardashev. He thought about, at a high level, how would you consider any given civilization? And he said, well, if you're type 1, you're using most of the energy of your planet. And we actually still have quite a ways to go to be properly a type 1. We're still using a tiny fraction of the sun's energy that reaches our planet. See, there we go. But the Earth only receives about 500 millionth of the sun's energy. So the sun is truly enormous. The
500 millionth of energy.
The sun is 99.8% of all mass in the solar system.
Then we need a Dyson
So
sphere
sometimes
around
people will ask me, like, what about, you know, other sources of power on Earth? Like, what about fusion on Earth? Well, that is unfortunately very small because the sun is 99.8% of.
I mean, I still think like we do need to understand a nuclear at a better scale, so then we can capture that energy better. You know, so it's like we have to build these nuclear plants and stuff, so then we can learn to capture the energy. And then once we can fully understand how to capture that energy, we can start like scaling up and capturing the sun's energy. You know,
mass in the solar system, and Jupiter is about 0.1%, and Earth is in the miscellaneous category. We are. I guess Carl Sagan, I think, might have said, Earth is like a tiny dust mote in a vast darkness. Very, very small. The sun is enormous. So the way to actually scale civilization is to scale power in space. This is necessarily true because we actually capture such a tiny amount of the sun's energy on Earth because we're just this tiny dust mote. Another way to think of it is roughly like electricity production on Earth of whole civilization is only about 1/trillionth of the sun's energy.
Damn.
Which means if you increase civilizational power output by 1 million, you would still only be 1/millionth of the sun's energy. I mean, it's awe-inspiring to consider that. Just how tiny we are in the grand scheme of things.
Okay, we get it.
Where
are we going with this?
Where do they want spaceships to other star systems? It is teraFAB.
We don't want to know about
the best possible future.
The sun, my
so
guy.
to do that, we need to harness the power of the sun. And
where are we going to space, my guy?
So a teraFAB, while it is enormous, a terawatt of compute per year is enormous by our sort of civilizational standards.
Okay, what does this say? Tesla delivers 8 million vehicles today, launch AI-based camera only, unsupervised self-driving, design Optimus to support large-scale production, deliver 109 gigawatt hours of energy storage globally. That the energy storage is actually going to go crazier. I truly believe that this is a huge industry for them. Built global gigafactories in record time. Built the first and only lithium refinery in the U.S.
Oh,
the first and only is crazy. Holy.
Hey, so no more China.
Built gigawatt scale AI training clusters. Created, or this is XAI. Built gigawatt scale AI training cluster. Created large coherent supercomputer. One company capable of building only company capable of building orbital AI compute at scale.
Oh shit.
I wouldn't say they're the only because
like ChatGPT.
No, because there are other rocket companies, you know, but they are right now they are the only they have the best shot, but I wouldn't say they're the only one capable of it.
Right.
Okay. SpaceX developed first reusable rockets.
Damn.
Okay. Flex. Return human space flight capabilities to the U.S. Launched 90% of the global mass to orbit.
Damn.
90% is just through them, as in Starlink. Operates world's largest space-based internet network. Built largest PCB manufacturer site in the U.S. Whoa,
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. Largest PCB manufacturing.
That'd be that big for AI for the XAI, right?
I think it's for not for XAI, but probably for Starlink.
Oh shit.
So damn, I didn't even know that, but that's insane. Flies world's most powerful rocket ever.
Damn.
It is still just one step
Bro,
along the
just
way of
flexing
being
at this
even a
point.
Kardashev. You still have a long way to go to even be a Kardashev 2 level civilization, and you're not even registering as a Kardashev 3. So it's a very big thing by current human standards, but still small in the grand scheme. It's very difficult for humans. So to accomplish this very difficult goal, it really requires a combination of efforts of SpaceX, XAI, and Tesla working together to create this epic teraFAB project. So, and Tesla and XAI and SpaceX have all done amazing things that people did not think would be done before. So there's the Giga Texas Fab here. There's the Optimus robot that's being built. There's a global supercharging network. There's really quite a lot. And it wasn't that long ago when people thought electric cars wouldn't amount to anything. And there were basically no electric cars for sale when Tesla started. And people said it was impossible. Now Tesla's making 2 million electric cars a year. Yeah. And then XAI, although it's a new company, now part of SpaceX, has also built the first gigawatt-scale compute cluster, which in record time. Jensen Huang from NVIDIA said he'd never seen anything built so fast in his life before. So, a great compliment from NVIDIA. And then SpaceX, well, I guess you can read for yourself. I mean, you already know. I mean, the reusable rockets, people said that reusable rockets weren't possible, and even if you did do them, they wouldn't be economically feasible. So we did them, and then we made them economically feasible. And now we've landed over 500 times. And then we did the Falcon Heavy, and now we're doing Starship. And Starship is a critical piece of the puzzle because in order to scale compute and scale power, you have to go to space, which means that you need massive payload to space. And Starship will enable that. So let's give you sort of just a sense of scale. We've got Optimus there, Optimus for scale. And Optimus is about 5'11", so it gives you a sense of the size of the Starship V3 rocket. The Starship V4 will be much longer, actually. The Starship V4 will make Starship V3 look kind of short. So we'll expand with
scaling for mass capacity. 1 billion Optimus robots to do the work. 10 million tons of mass per year launched into orbit. 1 terawatt plus solar power needed. That's insane. Okay, so this Optimus, Starship V3, AI Sat Mini. So this is probably the AI cluster
Starship V3 to 200 tons of payload to orbit. From 100 tons, we'll start with V3. And then you can see that's just a rough approximation of the AI, the mini version of AISat. So that's roughly 100 kilowatts. It's showing the solar panels and the radiator to scale. So for some reason, there's been a bizarre debate about radiators in space. It's safe to say SpaceX knows how to do heat projection in space with 10,000 satellites in orbit. Might know a thing or two. So you can see the radiator is actually quite small relative to the solar panels. And we call it the mini-sat since that's just 100 kilowatts. We expect future satellites to probably go to the megawatt range. So in order to get to the terawatt of compute per year, you need about 10 million tons to orbit per year and at 100 kilowatts per ton. So we're confident this is feasible. Like no new physics or impossible things are required to get there. So I'm confident actually that SpaceX will get to 10 million tons total per year. And then we're building up to a terawatt of solar. So that solves we'll solve the solar problem, the power generation. So then the key missing ingredient is therefore a terawatt of compute. So this announcement is about solving the key missing ingredient. To give you a sense of what we're talking about, the current output of AI compute is roughly 20 gigawatts per year. This chart explains why we need to build the terafab, because all of the rest of the output from Earth is about 2% of what we need. So if you add up all the fabs on Earth combined, they're only about 2% of what we need for the terawatt project, or terafab project.
I mean, the only thing about having it in space is the latency speed, because like if you have it on Earth, like you have like everything interconnected very fast, you know. But like if it's in space, it's like way further, and it's harder to train or pass on the data. So I really want to know like how they're gonna have this like work out, but we'll see.
So
you're saying this gonna be like missing data?
We
it's
certainly
not that it's missing data; it's just slower to run or train it.
Want our existing supply chain to be clear. We're very grateful to our existing supply chain, to Samsung, TSMC, Micron, and others, and we would like them to expand as quickly as they can, and we will buy all of their chips. I have said these exact words to them. But there's a maximum rate at which they're comfortable expanding, but that rate is much less than we would like.
And they're going hard. Okay, so that's not even that he's trying to like downplay it, but they are going hard right now too. So, and he's saying I still need more. You know.
So we either build the terafab or we don't have the chips, and we need the chips. So we're gonna build the terafab, and we're starting off with an advanced technology fab here in Austin. I believe Governor Abbott is in the audience. I'd like to thank Governor Abbott and the state of Texas for their support. So in the advanced technology fab, we will have all of the equipment necessary to make a chip of any kind, logical memory, and we also have all of the equipment necessary to make the lithography masks. So in a single building, we can create a lithography mask, make the chip, test the chip, make another mask, and have an incredibly fast recursive loop for improving the chip design.
Mm-hmm.
To the best of my knowledge, this doesn't exist anywhere in the world, where you've got everything necessary to build logic, memory, and do packaging, and test it, and then do the masks, improve the masks, and just keep looping it. So we're not just going to do conventional compute in this. I think there's some very interesting new physics that is potentially an incredibly fast recursive loop for improving the chip design. To the best of my knowledge, this doesn't exist anywhere in the world, where you've got everything necessary to build logic, memory, and do packaging, and test it, and then do the masks, improve the masks, and just keep looping it. So
so he's talking about his terafab is gonna do everything from design to production, the whole vertical thing, you know?
Yeah, he having everything in-house.
Everything. So then it's gonna be much faster to iterate on the product versus like, for example, Apple or something, which is like top of the line already, okay? But they are not manufacturing it themselves, you know, whereas he's saying we're manufacturing in-house, you know, so we can literally scale up manufacturing faster than anyone because we know literally every single bottleneck.
And we're not just going to do conventional compute in this. I think there's some very interesting new physics that is potentially, that actually I'm confident will work, it's just a question of when. So this is we're really going to push the limit of physics in compute. And we're going to try a bunch of wild and crazy things, which you can do if you've got that fast iteration loop. I can't emphasize enough the importance of being able to make a chip, test it, and then change the design, do another one, and have that in a single building. I think that our recursive improvement with that situation is probably an order of magnitude better than anything else in the world. So broadly speaking, we expect to make two kinds of chips. One will be optimized for edge and inference. So that'll be used primarily in Optimus and in the cars, but especially in Optimus, because I expect the robots, humanoid robots, to be made 10 to 100 times more than the volume of cars. So, you know, if vehicle production on Earth is about 100 million vehicles a year, and I expect humanoid robot production to be somewhere between 1 billion and 10 billion units a year. So it's a lot. So yeah, Tesla's going to make a very significant percentage of those, is our goal. And then we need a high-power chip that is designed for space, that takes into account the more difficult environment in space where you've got high power, you've got high energy ions, photons, you've got electron buildup. It's a hostile environment in space. So you want to design the chip, you want to optimize it for space. And you also want to generally run it a little hotter than you would normally run a chip on Earth to minimize the radiator mass. So there's just a bunch of constraints that you design something differently in space than you would on the ground. And for the space compute, my guess is that is the vast majority of the compute, because you're power constrained on Earth. So I think it's probably 100 to 200 gigawatts a year of terrestrial chips, and probably on the order of a terawatt of chips in space. Just because of power constraints on the ground. That's probably how it ends up. Space has this advantage that it's always sunny. It's very nice. I actually think that the cost of AI and deploying AI in space will drop below the cost of terrestrial AI much sooner than most people expect. I think maybe only 2 or 3 years before it is actually lower cost to send AI chips to space than it is on the ground. Because in space, you don't need much in the way of batteries because it's always sunny. And the solar power, you're going to get at least 5 or more times the solar power you get in space versus the ground, because you don't have atmospheric attenuation for a day-night cycle or seasonality. And you're always normal to the sun. So you're really maximizing the solar power at that point. And space solar actually costs less than terrestrial solar because you don't need heavy glass or framing to protect it from extreme weather events. So as soon as the cost to orbit drops to a low number.
What about the asteroids? Like, what did they get hit by an asteroid? How are they going to prevent that from happening?
It's called doing math. This is why they need computers to run simulations.
It immediately makes extremely compelling sense to put AI in space. It becomes a no-brainer, basically. Moreover, as you go to space, you get increased economies of scale, and things get easier over time, whereas as you try to put more and more power on the ground, you run out of space. And you start using up the easy spots, and then you get next-level NIMBY. Nobody wants the thing in their backyard. So actually, increasing power on Earth becomes harder over time and more expensive over time, but in space, it becomes actually cheaper and easier over time. These are very important points. What you just saw there was, because of course you're asking what's on your mind is, well, what do you do after a terafab? Don't think small. Well, yeah, good point. So we, how do you get to a petawatt is the obvious next question. And you get there by having an electromagnetic mass driver on the moon with robots, with Optimi, and obviously lots of humans. And with that, you can send petawatt. You can create a petawatt of compute and send that to deep space. Because on the moon has no atmosphere, it has 1/6 Earth gravity. So you don't need rockets on the moon. You can literally accelerate it to escape velocity from the surface. And that dramatically drops the cost, once again, of harnessing power and enables you to go 1,000 times bigger than a terawatt. So for sure, the future I want to live long enough to see the mass driver on the moon, because that's going to be incredibly epic. That should hopefully get us to 1/millionth of the sun's energy, at least. Humbling to think about that. But 1/millionth of the sun's energy would be 1,000,000 times bigger than Earth's economy, so it's good from that perspective. And then, yeah, you expand beyond that to the planets, to the other stars, and create the most exciting possible future that I can imagine. This looks a bit like the opening Idiocracy with Mike Judge. Unlocking an age of amazing abundance. Yeah, obviously elements about sustainable energy, space travel, and AI and robotics that bring amazing abundance to everyone. It's really the only path to amazing abundance is AI and robotics. Which is not saying you can't go wrong. Hopefully, but I think it'll probably go right, and it'll be a future that you live. It's the best future I can think of, at least. So, and then we go beyond the moon, beyond Mars, and we sail through the rings of Saturn. Now, wouldn't it be amazing if you could buy a trip to Saturn? Or frankly, you just have a trip to Saturn. I think things will just be free in the future. It sounds nuts, but if you've got an AI robotics economy that is anywhere close to 1,000,000 times the size of the current Earth economy, literally any need you possibly want can be met. If you can think of it, you can have it. So I think Ian Banks, in his culture books, has it pretty much right, where there actually isn't money in the future, and there's abundance for everyone. If you can think of it, you can have it. That's it. Which means anyone could have a trip to Saturn. There won't be, just a few people. If you want it, you can have it. Yeah. Join us on this journey, and help us design incredible chips. And
we're going to Saturn.
I'll be damned if we can live long enough for that. But hopefully.
Please go to Saturn.
Let's do a vlog.
Go to vlog Saturn.
Hey guys, mark my words. We're going to Saturn and we're gonna do a vlog. Okay, so the clowns from then watching this back. What's up, dude?
Hey, what's up, man? We see you.
I see you on Saturn. Hopefully it's fun out there, But hopefully it's safe too,
Hopefully it's safe, yes.
I don't know.
Hopefully you weren't the first one on there.
Yeah, if you're the first one on there, you're low-key retarded. All right, but is that a bad word during those times? I don't know. Okay, I'm sorry, but yeah. nice to meet the people in the back. And everybody else watching. You know, this is the Professor Andy show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I might be like 300 years old in that timeline.
Yes,
but
sir. Yes, sir.
That's crazy to think about. That the possibility that Elon is bringing here is is slowly coming true. Okay, we're done with this topic. And Future Fong, if you're still fat, that's crazy. That's crazy, bro. Is that bad to say too? I don't know, but nah, Future Fong is taking Ozempic or Retatrutide or some shit. Yeah. Street Formos.
Honestly, just stunned right now by the news of the United States lifting sanctions on the country of Iran. Just think about this. We are lifting oil sanctions on the country that we are currently going to war with because Donald Trump's global backfire hit oil markets so hard that he is desperate for any sort of relief. At the same time, Donald Trump's out there on the White House front lawn claiming that we've won this war.
No, it's more of like he's selling their oil so then other people can still survive, okay? He doesn't want to like fucking kill China and Japan, okay? Because we're withholding their oil, okay? But he's lifting that so then they can still have their oil. But we're talking about like the money supply, he is locking that shit up. They're not getting the money. He's selling their oil for them, but withholding that money. It doesn't go back to them.
Already. He said for like every 3 days since this war has begun, he said the war is over. I swear, like a week ago he was saying it's winding down. 10 days ago he was saying it's over. 13 days ago he said in and out, it'll be done soon. But as he's saying this, you have to look at what they're actually doing. What they're actually doing is mobilizing thousands more troops to the Middle East for potential ground invasion, which would be impossible due to the geography of Iran. If you look at what they're doing, they're asking for $200 billion more from Congress so the Pentagon has money to fight more war.
So that Trump has said like it's more than just Iran, you know, like they want the budget to go and literally probably invade Cuba after this, you know. So it's hard to say that definitively what that $200 billion is for, but yes, they are putting troops in Israel too. So, it's hard to say right now. What is right?
You know what's funny? They said we had no money for healthcare for a while. We even shut the government down because healthcare couldn't be funded. It was called fiscally irresponsible. But any calculation of fiscal responsibility goes directly out the window. Directly out the window when it comes to bombing school children in Iran, when it comes to funding endless wars. I mean, it's also worth mentioning, they said we didn't have money for Ukraine for years. Well, now we have money to fund another endless Middle Eastern war. I think protecting our European allies...
Facts, this is retarded. I don't agree with this war at all. I think it's a big waste of time, okay? Like, this, if you had this much money, we should have been spending it on American citizens, all right?
This is more important, and now Trump wonders why those same European allies don't want to help us when we've abandoned them repeatedly. You know, we're going to break all of this down, including the insane series of events that's happened over the past 24 hours or so. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you subscribe to the Adam Mockler feed to help us get to 2 million subscribers. Make sure you watch until the very end of this video. It means for years. And as countries denied and said, we're not going to help you go on a suicide mission, we saw that inflation in the US, or implied inflation over the next few months, began to spike. We haven't actually gotten into inflation report, but investors are now betting overall US inflation will go above 5%. Implied inflation rate from 1 year break even. We would have the highest inflation years since COVID broke down our supply chains.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to stop wanting to spend in this because of the whole chain
for a second, because I think people oftentimes forget. I don't say this enough. I don't repeat this enough. That all of this was completely unavoidable. Not in the sense that we didn't have to go to war in the first place in a specific war, but in the sense that we actually had an agreement already laid out. And the reports are we were inches away from another agreement before Donald Trump blew it up about 22 days ago when this war started. Kasim Rashid, a really good friend of the show, reports that MSNBC journalist David Rhodes says, quote, Iran offered to give away all of its enriched uranium during peace talks in Geneva. The British thought it was a credible offer. Hours later, Trump started bombing Iran anyway. The US didn't want peace. They wanted war. Donald Trump blew up the Iran nuclear deal despite Iran's compliance.
They don't want peace, okay? They want to fill their pockets. This is not about Trump, Biden, whoever the fuck. All the elites, all of them are trying to fill their pockets, okay? They're literally trying to pin you and me against each other, okay? The regular Americans against each other, or regular people against each other, so then they can benefit off of this war. No one wins but them. So this is why we teach on this channel to free yourself from this shit and stop listening to a bunch of this bullshit and actually find a way to monetize this system, okay? There's ways to monetize. If you pay attention closely, you will know exactly where to monetize. And if you do want help with that, link in the description, find the Discord. We are here to help you.
was years ago. The JCPOA was negotiated by Obama. He then sanctioned and bombed Iran, claiming he destroyed their nuclear program. And when Iran still came to negotiate and give up all of its enriched uranium, Trump killed 175 Iranian girls, spiked global oil markets, tanked the stock market, has killed thousands more in the Middle East. Hundreds of United States service members are casualties. And all of this was entirely avoidable if we just use a negotiation mechanism at our disposal. The most succinct way you can say all this is that the United States is an inherently more dangerous place every single day this war is waged. And I truly believe that. I truly believe that lifting oil sanctions on Russia, allowing them to strike Ukraine more, is going to backfire in the long term catastrophically and in the short term because they're funding Iran. They're helping give intelligence to Iran. I think that lifting oil sanctions off of the country that we are going to war with is perhaps one of the dumbest strategic things you could possibly do. And that is a situation that we find ourselves in. We find ourselves in a situation where we have a president who will one day say the war is winding down. And then the next day will say that we're just beginning. And then the next day will say that we've already won while also deploying troops. It's very worth pointing out that we're entering week 4 of this war, right? We had the first 7 days, then 14, then 21. Now we're entering week 4 of this war. And Donald Trump is just now deploying more troops to the Middle East. The reports are it could take them 10 days to get to the Middle East. And then who knows how long this operation will take. I mean, we are blowing past the 6-week timeline that Trump gave out. This is going to be another endless war. And what does Trump have to say for himself?
Militarily won in Iran? What did you mean by that? He said the war was militarily won in Iran. What did you mean by that?
Oh, I think we've won. We've knocked out their Navy, their Air Force. We've knocked out their anti-aircraft. We've knocked out everything. We're roaming free. From a military standpoint, all they're doing is clogging up the strait. But from a military standpoint, they're finished.
So how much longer does the American...
Okay, wait a minute. From a military standpoint, all they're doing is clogging up the strait. I mean, they still do have military capacity. And they just struck a few other countries yesterday. They're also flying drones and still doing attacks. So they clearly still have the means. But what Trump's saying here, I don't find it convincing that destroying another country's military capabilities in the short term is somehow winning. The reality is there's an enormous cost, not just monetarily, but in terms of human lives and sacrifice in order to do a war like this. Enormous cost. And if you're going to say that now the benefit of this war is that Iran can't use some ships that they already weren't using, that Iran can't use some drones that they already weren't using, the Strait of Hormuz was already open. We already had passageway through that. Our win is just temporarily sending back their military. I feel like this is going to end in it's going to turn into a treadmill of a perpetual...
Nah, I understand exactly what he's saying, but like China is literally going to fund Iran, so then this thing's going to go on forever. It's like, yes, we destroyed Iran, right? We destroyed Iran's military, but that doesn't mean they can't rebuild with China or Russian equipment, okay? Which is most likely what's going to happen if this draws out.
War. We're going to be in perpetuity striking them every 8 months because they're going to rebuild. Then we're going to strike them. Then we're going to rebuild. The only way to actually enact regime change would be boots on the ground, which is what Trump is kind of planning. But that would be catastrophic. I've explained this a few times, but boots on the ground would necessitate sending troops into a place that is 4 times larger than Iraq. It's got 3 times the population, twice the size of the military, and it's surrounded by mountains. So it's just geographically impossible to invade a country like this. But I don't even think Trump knows that. I don't even think Trump knows anything. He's playing it by ear. He's blown up peace deals that were about to happen. This motherfucker is lifting sanctions on the countries that we're at war with, therefore giving them more money. Like, we cannot go without calling this shit out. The U.S. is going to allow Iran to get $14 billion in oil revenue. Russia is getting billions.
We should have just went in, destroyed all their uranium, and that was about it, you know, and end it, you know, from right there. But then now we're going in and trying to like put boots in Iran, and then also change the regime so that we can take over their oil, so then we can free up the Strait of Hormuz. This is not what we wanted, okay? We just wanted safety, and that should have been it, okay?
Millions of dollars per day in oil revenue and directly using that money to make the world a more dangerous place. We are helping our enemies consolidate their power and wealth so that they can continue to escalate. I'm really sick of it, and I'm sick of Donald Trump's handling of this. I have a great CNN video coming out in just a few hours. I hope you guys can watch it. I love you all, and I'll see you.
So this guy, pretty interesting. I do like his takes, you know. I wouldn't say he's 1,000% right on every single thing, but yes, he is so far correct, you know. Great takes. Rogue. All right. Let me find something else that we can react to, guy.
Check this out.
Nice. Breaking news. Always is breaking news, guys. All right, I'm gonna look up some. Let's go on X. X probably got something. X.com. X gotta have something interesting to go on right now. Mass driver on the moon. I mean, this would be cool to think about, but unlikely. Not in our timeline. Sending the satellites out. It's looking insane to think about.
Don't think small. After my 6th Earth grab, that dramatically dropped.
I wonder how latency is gonna work with that though. That's kind of weird to think about. Like, if that's for like for internet connectivity or if that's for like the data centers. But if we're talking about like the data centers, like he's talking about, I don't know if that's very good to train on.
America's unique advantage that no country possibly have is President Trump. And
what? All right.
let me explain why. One, on the first day of his administration, he realized the importance of AI and he realized the importance of energy. For the last, I don't know how many years, energy production was vilified, if you guys remember.
Yeah.
We can't create new industries without energy. You can't reshore manufacturing without energy. You can't sustain a brand new industry like artificial intelligence without energy. If we decide as a country the only thing we want is IP, to be an IP only, a services only country, then we don't need much energy. But if we want to produce things, something as vital as artificial intelligence, then we need energy. And so I'm just delighted to see to accelerate AI innovation, to accelerate the growth of energy so that we can sustain this new industry and go after the new industrial revolution.
Trying to find the coolest small cap publicly traded companies, and I think I might have just found it. So I'm here with Julie, the Chief Marketing Officer at Inflection, and I'm gonna ask her a few questions about space to operate. You guys have a bit of a different technological approach. You guys have
Appreciate it. You guys definitely did find one of the coolest technology companies here at GTC. Discern information to calculate information. What makes it different is this technology is very easily scalable. It's a single platform that can operate a bunch of different quantum use cases.
bit of revenue
today, and that
space clock, I suppose.
Work in the sky, and then we'll also work for navigation in the sea, in submarine, energy sector, bio, drug discovery.
Ah, Nah, bro. Bro used the other guy to market his next video, bro. Bro's a genius. He basically used the other guy to market his video. Because he already knew. He already knew. Mr. Beast already knew, guys. Mr. Beast. Where's Mr. Beast is boring? This dude, look, this dude made a video 2 weeks ago saying Mr. Beast is boring, and then now he released a video which he probably had planned literally like a month ago, a month out, and then saying like I want to hang out with my boys more. But then this one is the newest video is literally about him hanging out with his boys. So he technically already pre-planned to, and then he advertised the one he uploaded today. So that's kind of crazy to think about. He planned that shit, bro. Can't beat him. You can't beat him. He's too fast. He's 10 steps ahead.
then was probably like $1 million, maybe $1.5 million.
$1 million?
And I was probably in like 8 lawsuits.
That sounds like the lawyers
Holy
were kind of.
shit.
Did you have
No, for
insurance?
sure. No, they were like charging me more per hour.
Yeah.
I can't like say the names, but there's like a firm who has stolen a bunch of money from celebrities in Los Angeles and athletes.
You don't want to say the name because you're probably going to get sued.
No, yeah. No,
It's another $1 million.
I'm probably going to sue them one day.
Do a class action or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, because I know other people who've gotten a lot of their money stolen from them as well. It's just insane.
Is
like,
this why just overbilling? Is that how we're doing this?
Yeah, so basically you sign up to go with them and then they hire 10 people to watch your account. And then these 10 people are getting like $50, $60, $75 an hour. And then they're just saying that they're like working on it a ton. Each
Oil was up 40% in Europe. In countries closest to Iran, is barely moved. You're not paying for a real shortage. You're paying for a story. Iran closed Hormuz to the world, but Chinese tankers still passing through. Iran is literally selecting who gets oil. China stockpiled 1.4 billion barrels before the war started. They knew Europe stockpiled nothing. Turkey, Georgia, the Caucasus sits right next to Iran. Pipeline oil is still flowing. Price not moving. Europe doesn't even buy Iran oil. They're paying a 40% premium on oil that was never disrupted for them. The shortage raised prices most in countries furthest from the conflict and least in the countries next to it. There's not a supply crisis. It's a Europeans getting scammed. Any way to make money nowadays, huh? Oh, my Osage Han is doing a 33 billion natural gas plant in Ohio. 10 gigawatt AI data center complex. Right.
日本がアメリカに約束した投資の第一弾として進められていて、5兆2000億円余りが充てられます。
33 billion, bro. Crazy.
And you're not even accounting for like
Oh
a
yeah, and you can
family
go on.
with kids.
Oh, you could go on no vacation, and you have less than $1,000 a month to spend on stuff.
Hell no.
And that's like not including if your car breaks down, if you have a car payment. Like, no, I would not take a 2 mil. I would not take 2 mil. So no, I would not take a 2 mil. Didn't.
Keep in mind, you're not even accounting for like
Oh
a
yeah, and you can
family
go on.
with.
You could not. So no, I would not take a 2 mil. I would not take 2 mil.
Flip farm.
America. I just wanted to know what, in response to the United States taking sanctioned oil from Venezuela, Colombian President Gustavo Petro criticized the United States by saying, well, the Southwest is stolen land and that it should be returned to Latin America. I just wanted to know what your response to that is.
Well, he has to watch because, you know, he's got drug factories. They make cocaine in Colombia. And he's no friend of the United States. He's very bad guy. And he's got to watch his ass because he makes cocaine and they send it into the United States of America from Colombia. We love the Colombian people. I love the Colombian people. They're great people, energetic, smart, great. But their new leader is a troublemaker. And you better watch it. You better close up those cocaine factories. They have at least 3 major cocaine factories. We know where they are. He better close them up fast, yeah.
In response to the United States,
unemployment rate in 50 years. In fact, my last year as President of the United States, 2024, we created just the last year, 2.2 million additional jobs. You know how many jobs Trump's created in his first year as president? 185,000 jobs. Total. That's it. Of course.
See if this is true. No, the claim isn't accurate. Of course it isn't. I mean, you can make picking up shit a job, so it's hard to say, but both still great, still making jobs.
Just about everything there is to obliterate, including leadership. Their Navy's gone, their Air Force is gone, their anti-air.
I've been warning you about this for a long time, but now it's real. It's happening right before our eyes. The banks, they've lied to you for decades. They've printed fake money, stolen your hard-earned because of the Nezara Gazara and your family at risk. Like you suffer.
Nah. She looks more like a lizard. She don't look like the card time, bro.
Not really seen it. Not really seen.
Can threaten Europe and our bases overseas, and they're working to build missiles that will soon reach the United States of America. After Midnight Hammer, they were warned to make no future attempts to rebuild their weapons program, and in particular, nuclear weapons. Yet they continue, starting it all over. We wiped it out, and they want to start all over again, and are at this moment again pursuing their sinister ambitions. They've already...
Let's ChatGPT this. ChatGPT. And I'll grok it too. I'll grok it too, guys. Grok, grok, grok. ChatGPT this shit first. Is Iran bad, and do they need a regime change, and should America be involved or not? All right, we're gonna ChatGPT that, and then we're gonna rock it too. Boom, boom. Is Iran bad? More accurately to say, Iran's government is widely criticized for human rights abuse, authoritarian rule, supporting armed groups in the region. But Iran is not just its government. The Iranian people are diverse and have many protested against their own government in recent years. So calling Iran bad is too simple. Do they need regime change? That depends on perspective. Arguments make people for regime change. The government represses its citizens. It contributes to regional conflicts. Some Iranians themselves have protested and demanded change. Arguments against or cautious change imposed from outside often backfires. Even the U.S. experts say regime change in Iran is unlikely in the near term. After wars, countries can become more unstable, not more democratic. Seen in Iraq and Afghanistan. It's back and forth, bro. Come on. Yeah, I'm not reading on that, bro. Wasn't Mao Zedong much worse in China, and the US didn't get involved? So why now with Iran? But not China scale. Oh, because they're not big. We shouldn't help them. Okay, what is going on? Amount is much worse than the USA should have done more to stop them. But turns out that they are helping Israel with Iran when it's a much smaller problem. Doesn't make sense at all when one is much deadlier to your people if left unchecked. How does this end? It's just as drawn out, bro. At the taxpayers' expense. God fucking damn it. Predict what will happen between Iran and USA. And if it ends. Now that's interesting to think about. Ending before it becomes another endless entanglement. I mean, that's smart if he ends it, you know? But, was it worth it to begin with? Probably not. Probably not. Egoed. If Iran doesn't fully open without threat, the Strait of Hormuz, within 48 hours, with this exact point in time, the United States of America will hit and obliterate various power plants, starting with the biggest one first. Thank you for your attention on this matter, President Donald Trump. Finally! I've been saying this. Hold on. Within 48 hours from this exact point in time, the United States of America will hit and obliterate their various power plants, starting with the biggest one first. Finally! I have been saying this. You should have struck them. You shouldn't give your enemies mercy whatsoever. Never, okay? Because then they take it to the extremes. They always will. They are petty like that, okay? The first thing he should have done was blow up all their pipelines so they can't even export no oil left. And then you bomb up all the refineries. And then now they have nowhere to go. And then they surrender. Okay? Because then they can't fund the war no longer. And they starve from within. Okay? This is what he should have done to begin with. Because then now that Now that he gave them mercy, they bombed Israel, like multiple plants in Israel, okay? And then now they're setting mines in the Strait of Hormuz. You're letting it go on for so long. This is coming at the Americans' expense. It's no longer worth it. He should have bombed them to begin with. Two options, Trump. You either come home or you bomb everything. Ooh. Ooh. Fighting? Yeah, who knows?
Given what's happened, I was also asked, given what's happening in the Middle East, I was also asked.
What does Jensen have to say about this war? Okay.
I was also asked, given what's happening in the Middle East, is that an area where we believe that we can expand artificial intelligence to? I believe that there's a reason we went to war, and I believe at the end of the war, Middle East will be more stable than before. And so if we were there, if we were considering it before, we should absolutely be considering it after. And so I'm 100% in on that. I was also believe that we can expand artificial intelligence too. I believe that there's a reason we went to war, and I believe at the end of the war, Middle East will be more stable than before. And so if we were there, if we were considering it before, we should absolutely be considering it after.
Yeah, we do need their energy. I feel like that's what we're kind of after, is their energy plants at this point, dude. It's what it seems like. It's like we no longer even care. We no longer even care about like what we no longer care about like the citizens that live there. We're just about like, let's take the oil, let's take the energy, and then let's build AI plants there and scale AI as fast as possible. And then it's much easier to do everything else after. Any self-respecting civilization needs to reach at least Kardashev 2. I mean, I hope so, my guy. I hope so.
All right. All you ladies need to get the fuck up on out of here right now. Appreciate it, guys. Yep. All right, take care, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Are we allowed to take a shot of, are we allowed to use like the bottle and take a shot?
What do you think they're here for?
It's your stuff. I don't know. I don't want to just do it. Like, I don't want you to take it.
I appreciate it. That's very nice of you to ask.
Sorry.
But it is all yours.
Okay, thank you.
That's very nice of you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes, anything and everything you want.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely, yeah. Damn, usually nobody gives a fuck. They just start drinking. But it's pretty nice. Pretty nice. What?
This is something that I was thinking of, and I'm fine saying this on stream because I low-key want to do it. I went to Orangey's engagement party last night, and we were with some crypto guys, and they were talking about like how they put like 100K into a meme coin, and like that shit turns into like whatever, fucking 11 mil or like 10 mil. And I was just thinking about it. I was like, what's stopping me? Obviously these charts don't move like a meme coin, but like what's stopping me from taking a risk that big? I've done it before on FOMC where it's like similar volatility where price moves crazy and you just know that you're going to get a big move. But I was really thinking about it. I was like, bro, not that I should be risking more on my trades, but I've been trading so comfortably. Yeah. And I low-key want to put out like a bit of a challenge for myself. Like I want to start with, I don't know, like whatever. Obviously, like I'm sure there's going to be L's involved, but I
that was involved.
Get food? I think y'all gotta realize we've been drinking for like 2.5 hours straight. No breaks, no time to like let it soak in. Am I making kids leave?
Let's go golf.
Am I ruining Disneyland for the kids?
You should have seen the mom's face. Girl got booed for singing her country national anthem. I need a f***ing American flag. I need an American flag immediately.
5 minutes later.
Someone had it?
I swear, I saw the stars and the stripes.
Proud of our country. I'm not sorry, Canada. We love our country. I would die for this country.
Not only do you have a flag, you have the flag in a pole.
He singing it? This poor girl got booed for singing her country national anthem. I need a f***ing American.
America's the greatest, the greatest country. Okay. All right, who's this? Bomb Iran. Bomb Iran. Yeah, for sure, bro. We're already doing it, so it's like it won't make a big difference, okay? Because we're already doing it. I mean, that's what America does best. Is song Bomb Iran is a song? Is it really a song? I'm not gonna play that because I don't wanna insinuate anything like that, okay? But yeah, I mean, we're already doing it, America. You know. All right. It's crazy how like Logan Paul would get booed, like that's normal for him, right? But then him getting booed for raising an American flag is crazy, you know? It's crazy. Like literally all are you a Trump supporter? I don't support anyone, okay? I don't support Biden, I don't support Trump. I mean, some of them have great things that they're doing for the country, you know, but I'm not going to support anyone, you know? I support myself. You know? I support my own ideologies. I'm not going to dick ride no president just because he's a president, you know? So, you're like a grown-ass man dick riding another man. Now, I'm not doing none of that, okay? So, you're independent. Yeah, basically. I mean, I feel like everybody should be, no? Like, what are you? Are you a Trump supporter? Are you a Biden supporter? What's your stance? What's your stance, my guy? I really believe everybody should have like their own critical thinking. You know, not everything Trump does is correct, or not everything Biden does is the end all be all. You know, and it's like the same argument with like Hitler. You know, you could say like there were some people who believe Hitler was right, and there were some people who don't believe Hitler is right. You know, it's like you're here glazing another man for what? You know, it's like you might as well just go be your own man. But yeah, let's see.
I'm not gonna say how many properties he has, but
I got a question. Have you ever listened to Tom McDonald's song? He is an independent rapper. No, I don't really listen to music like that because DCMA strikes. What I don't even know what it's called, but DMCA, yeah, DMCA strikes. You know, that's how I can't. They're gonna take down the stream, you know, and then I won't have a stream to go off of. But yeah, what does he talk about? Tom McDonald? I mean, I'll look into it. Tom McDonald. He's Canadian. I'm live. We got screwed. I mean, what does he talk about though? Is it interesting or not? Anti 2 albums. I mean, I feel like everybody is like technically monetizing their stuff. You know, there's not a damn. He got 6 million views for 8 days ago for just Anti. That's crazy. He doesn't do that stuff. Okay. Let me see though. Let me see. Let me see. He signed. Music declassified. Script. I think he does, my guy. I think he does. He has a whole album. He has the music thing right here. I mean, This is sus, my guy. This is sus. This is sus. I mean, we'll play the lyrics. We'll play the lyrics. And then we'll read into the lyrics. We'll read into the lyrics because we can't listen to it, you know? Bunch of Satanist criminals, murderers. We all pray to God while they worship the devil. Yeah, it's Hollywood, the royal family, politicians left and right. They all seem anti-American, anti-Christ. Okay. Hold on. Ain't left and right no more because now it's good and evil. Yeah, it's always been good and evil. But then it's not really technically good and evil. It's more of like, yeah, but he doesn't like to copyright people because he wants people to play it. Oh, okay. Yeah, I get it. But I'm still not going to play it just in case. You know, I can't take your word for it and then just like have my stream banned like that. Okay. They used to call it a conspiracy, but now it's real. It's not even about good versus evil. It's more of like, because like, what is even good and evil? What is good? What is evil? You know, it's like everybody has their own moral code, you know? So then how do you even like begin to explain what good is, you know? It's like, if you teach a monkey to kill, a monkey's gonna kill. You know, it's like you teach a fish how to hunt, the fish is gonna eat whatever and hunt whatever. It's gonna eat its own kind, you know? Same thing like the Aztecs used to sacrifice their own people. You know, it's like humanity is we're just a bunch of animals, you know? So then to write what is right and what is wrong, it's hard to say what is morally right and what is morally wrong, okay? So the way I look at it is like I don't even look at that as a topic of discussion, you know? It's more about like who is the winner and who is going to be the loser, okay? And then at the end of the day, it's like you either want to stay a winner or you want to stay a loser, you know? And then these rich politicians, they're doing whatever they can to try to benefit off of the system and win, you know? So that to me is them just trying to win, you know? So then I understand their point of view, and that's why I also don't side with them, because they're my enemy at the end of the day, you know? It's because I want to be a winner and I don't want to be stuck being a loser, you know? So it's not about good versus evil. It's about who is going to win, who's going to lose, and who profits and who loses, you know, in that deal. And it's like these politicians are always going to try to profit so then they can win off of every scenario, you know? Whereas like normal people are always going to be stuck on like what's right or what's wrong, you know, and forever debating these topics, you know, while there's going to be people who are going to take action and try to win the game. You know, it's like being part of the game rather than, you know, screaming and yelling at them like a fan in the crowd, you know? Nick Shirley is good too. Yeah, Nick Shirley for sure. He calls out a lot of like the bullshit. I've seen his shit. Yeah. He calls out like all the bullshit, you know, like everything happening, all the scams with the, like everything, bro. He's pretty good. He's a good journalist for sure. But yeah, to me, if you're like listening to this type of music, or like if you're so like bought into this like whole thing, like this whole channel, right? For me is like teaching people how to finance Max, you know? So it's like taking advantage of opportunities that are put and positioning yourself to win, okay? And that's monetarily mostly, you know? So with people like this, it's like people are going to rage in the comments. He wants people to listen to it, you know? But at the end of the day, he's going to monetize off of this, you know? Not you, you know? So he's monetizing off of your attention. He's going to get a bunch of people to talk about it, you know? And cause mass havoc, you know? And at the end of the day, who wins? He does. You know, you don't really win. You know, everybody just commenting like a fan, you know? It's like a soccer game or a basketball game, you know? There's a bunch of people in the crowd, and then there's actually people who are playing the game, you know? So the people you want to be the person playing the game. You don't want to be the person screaming in the crowd, you know? It's all a show. At the end of the day, it's a whole shit show. From politicians to music to sports. It's all a show. So I don't buy into it. My guy.
Steve, do you have anything you want to add about Mr.
We can sit here and argue about that all day long, but
instead of
it's not going to change nothing.
Well, in respect to real estate, it's so much harder than stocks in terms of negotiation of deals, time spent, the involvement of multiple.
Don't you have a dog? Nah, I don't have a dog, bro. Why would I get a dog for? Dogs are a waste of time, bro. I'm finance maxing. If anything, I would have a kid. I mean, because then, you know, eventually your kid is gonna help you out, and the ROI on that is much greater. You know, I believe everything's transactional, and even having a kid is transactional. You know, but no, I don't have a dog. I think dogs are useless.
Parties in the ownership usually when real estate gets in trouble, so you find out you're dealing with more than the equity holder. But there have been times when large amounts of real estate have changed hands at bargain prices, but usually stocks were cheaper, but they were a lot easier to do. So Charlie did more real estate. Charlie enjoyed real estate transactions, and he actually did a fair number of them in the last 5 years of his life. But you'd asked him to make a choice when he was 21, and he had to either be in stocks exclusively the rest of his life or real estate the rest of his life. He would have chosen stocks in a second. There's just so much more opportunity, at least in the United States, that presents itself in the security market than it does in.
Why are I mean the reason Buffett even talks about not going into real estate, right, and going to stocks, is because the simplicity aspect of it. Okay, that means you don't have to put in as much work as you would need to make the same amount. You know, so simplicity is like another form of genius. Okay, so it's like even on the iPhone, right? Like why everybody hated like Samsung and stuff for so long is because the UI and everything was so complicated to use, you know. And then Apple came in and made it super simple. You know, that's the whole thing about everything in life. It's like you can apply all these strategies to every aspect of your life. You know, so it's like even like what he's saying with stocks versus like having any other job, right? It's just so much simpler to invest into a stock or a good company, which is like a stock. But rather than like going out, you know, and understanding the whole real estate market, understanding the comps, understanding everything. Never mind, I got confused for a second, but I think I remember I stopped by your stream a couple months ago, lol. Did you ever stream outside in the backyard or something like that? I don't even know, bro. We do too much things, you know? So I don't really remember. But I don't think we ever streamed in a backyard or some shit like that. I don't think so. I might have. It's always like me and my friends, but who knows? We might have. I just have horrible memory with this kind of stuff, you know?
This is actual cost. Like, they got to pay for costs in that stream, too. You get what I'm saying? What do you average during his subathon? Or Mafia-thon? Let's say 150,000. He averaged 150,000 viewers, right? Hours. Let's see how. So Kai Cenat having a Mafia-thon cost the company $800,000 a day, right? Because he's pulling over 100,000 or 150,000 concurrent viewers, and to keep all of them on through that data center, right? And I'm pretty sure, you know, Twitch is owned by Amazon. Maybe they get a discount. So this is just like a stock type of thing. But we're fucking money.
Yeah, that's why Amazon owns Twitch, okay? Because they're able to lower that cost and basically do it for free for themselves.
I'm gonna be her big sister.
And then they purely just monetize off of the end on the back end of sponsorships, you know? So it's good.
Oh, fuck.
I'll take care of her.
I was hoping she was gonna take care of me. I'm just taking a look at her.
She's hot. I like her. I'm here with her. Stroking.
You're stroking what?
No, I'm here with her.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna be her big sister.
Oh fuck.
I'll take care of her.
I was hoping she was gonna take care of me. You know what I mean?
I'll take care of you. We both can. We'll both take care of you.
What's up? How are you?
Hi, Flo.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm just taking a look at her.
Yeah. That's crazy.
You never know.
I would.
Don't open it.
Yeah, I'm finna go to Miami just because of this. Ah, damn, what? Party scene looks crazy. I don't like partying though, okay? Hell no. Fuck partying, okay? But the baddies, I might go.
NVIDIA H200 GPUs in Beijing despite the U.S. export ban, and then explains how he circumvents the export ban. Wow. In January of
video posted by Beijing-based entrepreneur Sudi on the Chinese social media platform Douyin has sparked significant...
Wait, it's literally, you can see, watch this, watch this. Look at that. Rewind for a second. You can see a Supermicro logo.
No way.
Entrepreneur Sudi on the Chinese social media platform Douyin has sparked significant discussion. In the video, Su boasts...
Chinese entrepreneur boasts receipt of 200
Oh, it does say
NVIDIA
Supermicron,
H200
bro.
GPUs in Beijing despite the U.S. export ban, and then explains how he circumvents the export ban. Wow. In January of...
Wait, it's literally, you can see, watch this, watch this.
It literally says Supermicro, supermicro.com, bro. Are you serious, bro?
Look at that. Rewind for a second. You can see a super...
God, that's like the biggest logo for Supermicro ever.
Supermicro might be a bunch of retards. They're gonna change every single bar tag with a fucking hair dryer, but they leave the biggest marker out there. Their logo on the bar
is absolutely
and this
correct.
is from January. No, I'm telling you, like a lot of. I mean, I'm sure the folks in the Justice Department were working on some of it.
Do you think that's...
Man, Supermicro really putting us behind. They're fucking up U.S., bro. How dare they? He deserves life in jail. Life in jail, bro.
It's the only way a smart guy can go broke. I mean, it basically is if you owe money, you can't pay tomorrow. If you just pay for everything and you do smart things, eventually get very rich. You can do smart things and use leverage, and if you do one wrong thing along the way, it can wipe you out, because anything times zero is zero. And but it's so reinforcing when the people around you are doing it successfully, you're doing it successfully, and it's a lot like Cinderella at the ball. I mean, you know at midnight everything's going to turn to pumpkins and mice, right? But as the evening goes along, I mean, you know, the guys look better all the time. The music sounds better. It's more and more fun. You think, why the hell should I leave at 11:45? You know, I'll leave at 2 minutes to 12. But the trouble is, there are no clocks on the wall. And everybody thinks they're going to leave at 2 minutes to 12. Having a good time.
That's a great freaking analogy. That's a great analogy. If you like for leveraged, that's a great analogy. It's like you never really know, and you get so stuck in it. True, Mike. Ha ha ha. Let it compound.
Oh. Hell no. You know what? Yeah, he's a yeah.
Piper, you think he mogs?
No, I don't think he mogs, but I think he knows what he's doing, and I think that everything he does is intentional, and I think that you got to give some credit to them. And honestly,
Hit someone with his car.
You know what? I don't. That is terrible. It is really terrible. But I think that obviously I don't like support him, and I'm not like a fan. He's just doing what he has to do to get to where he wants to be. But he really has something against you though, and that kind of does piss me off. Like if I ever get the chance to like see him in person, like.
And I just learned who the guy was.
Really?
Just learned who he was recently. Oh.
He just calls her chopped, and that's why she's mad, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna get some water. We're dying, bro. Oh, dude, I'm parched.
Hype mog.
Holy hype mog. Holy hype mog, Jack. Look at this.
Thank you.
Water? Can I get 2 water? Yeah, let's grab water. Thank you, man.
Lamest shit you done said to a girl to come over that worked. Bro,
listen, pull up.
My shit, the lamest shit I be saying.
Well, hold on. You mean be saying? You still be saying it?
Yeah, cause it worked. But I already know what it is.
Still be saying
it. Take a nap.
Yep. Hey, boy, hey, listen, boy, no bullshit.
Go take a nap.
I swear to God, nigga.
I know you be trying to come take a nap your way into some pussy.
No, I don't. No, I don't, nigga. No, I don't, nigga. No, I don't.
Oh, so you actually mean come take a
Dead ass, nigga. I dead ass mean that shit. Like, hey, come take a nap, nigga. Like, and if guess what? If it lead to something else, you want to goddamn scoot back or two, then that's on you. I don't do that no more, but.
Yeah, you do.
That goddamn come take a nap. Word, dog.
That's good. That's good. Whoa, I'm gonna get copyright strike. No.
Number 3, look who she's talking to. Shut the fuck! He's trying to shut her up. Oh my god! Look at her! He's trying to shut her up.
Yeah.
He had been the president if the victory wasn't stolen from him in 2020. Maybe the Ukrainian crisis that arose in 2022.
The glaze is insane.
Never appeared.
Despite everything you read, despite
I do this weekend.
I don't know, maybe a few hundred.
A lot.
A lot.
And wouldn't that be a shame if you got sick?
It would be a shame.
I brought you zinc.
I swear to God, I don't trust you with this. This might be like alcohol. Or
It's
cocaine.
literally labeled.
Oh, it's labeled zinc. Thank you. That was actually really thoughtful.
Got you, dude.
Thank you. Wow. I brought you something too.
What'd you bring me? Did you actually? No, bro. Cap, take the zinc.
Okay. How many zinc do I take?
Oh, don't take
okay.
two.
Am I gonna get
Just
roofied
one.
right now?
Just one.
Wait, you swear to God it's zinc?
Yeah, it's zinc.
Just because it says zinc in a Sharpie in a plastic bag does not mean like legit.
It's legit labeled zinc, bro.
That's not a legit label. It's you with a Sharpie, bro.
How'd that get on there then if it's not zinc?
It's not even spelled correctly.
It's zinc, bro. You're welcome. Don't smell it.
Are you sure it's
what?
zinc?
You know what zinc smells like? This. Now you do, because you smelled it for the first time.
I won't get high. It's like swear to
You
God
won't get
off
high.
camera. I won't get high. Like no,
won't get high.
actually.
You, won't, you actually will not get high.
Then have Lay have one too.
Taking Safari's side over mine today. What happened to
Should I
bros
take
over
this?
hoes?
No. Wait, my stomach hurts from the pill that you gave me.
That's what zinc does.
Oh, really? Are you sure?
Did
it was
you
zinc?
eat?
No.
Really?
I'm fasted. Oh, wait, why? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen?
You're gonna be in agony.
My stomach already hurts. I feel high.
Well, okay, Sarah, you should drink something. Drink some Gatorade.
Energy drink.
Yeah, there you go.
You got this. You're the man. Come on.
Can't have
Good job,
Sarah
you got
though,
it.
but that was 50 milligrams of Anavar.
If Iran has a system of about 20% of the world oil and gas, why don't the world concentrate on 80%? They have no control about it. There's no other focus is about 20. Who controls 80%? That is true, but no one cares about that because they only care about their price going up $1, bro. That's why. Damn.
To invest in Tesla, and I've said our stock is too high.
Why should I invest in Tesla rather than Mercedes-Benz?
Well, I actually rarely try to convince anyone to invest in Tesla. And many times I've recommended people don't invest in Tesla, and I've said our stock is too high, but then people just ignore me and keep buying the stock for some reason. But if you, I think at a very high level, I'd say that autonomy is an insanely fundamental breakthrough, and no one is even close to Tesla for solving generalized autonomy or generalized self-driving vehicles. No one's even close. With self-driving, as I was talking about earlier, the car becomes, call it roughly 5 times more useful, but it costs the same to build. Now, can you imagine what would happen if a company was doing, we're doing like 25 to 30% gross margins, but suddenly that same thing was 5 times more valuable? What would that do to the value of Tesla and the value of that car? It boggles the mind, actually. If you actually do the math on that, it's insane. Then there's also the Optimus program, which is our humanoid robot, where we'll leverage our manufacturing the economy.
Yo. All right, I'm done with this. I'm done. I'm done. All right, make sure you. I'm out of here, guys. But make sure you guys tune in. We're here every day. Hopefully, I can't guarantee that. I'll be honest, but I'll try to be here every day. But make sure you check out the YouTube. Posting videos there every day. That's for a fact. Okay, so make sure you subscribe to that, and then join the Discord if you want financial maxing help. Okay, and subscribe. Oh no, not subscribe. But follow the Twitch and the Kick too. I'll be streaming there. Always at 6 or 7 p.m. You know what I'm saying? But I'll be there. If you guys want to catch us. But yeah, that's it for this.